pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chagrin Falls High School for the 2021 Chagrin Valley Conference Volleyball Media Day. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. And up first today from the Chagrin Division are the West Jaga Wolverines and Coach Amber Baker. Ladies, appreciate you making the trip out here to Chagrin Falls, one of your arch enemies here, but really excited to learn a little bit more about you guys after that season you had last year. So, Coach, first off, why don't you go ahead and introduce the girls that you brought with you, and then just kind of give us a little bit of an overview of what we can expect out of West Jaga this season.
Okay, thanks for having us. To my immediate right is Hannah Lorich, 4-year varsity setter for us. And next to her is Caitlin Danza, who's been our outside hitter for the past 3 years on varsity.
And then just a little overview of what we can expect out of you after that big year last year.
Yes, last year we were the first-time CVC Chagrin Valley champions for West G, so it was really exciting for us. We are actually really excited about the season and hoping to repeat that. We were 13-1 in regular season, and we got kicked out after the second game of the tournament, which we weren't thrilled about, but we're hoping to push further on in the season.
Some of the challenges you're going to face. You had that huge senior class, a very talented senior class. Obviously, you bring back 2 all-conference performers, so that's a nice core for you. But how have you kind of, filled those holes that were left from graduation?
So we lost our libero and our 2 middles and one of our setters, which was a huge blow for us. But I'm very confident that Hannah can run the offense perfectly fine. Losing our middles is going to be probably the biggest obstacle that we face. But we have a senior middle, Allison Mueller, and a really upcoming strong middle, Michaela Hurst. She's a sophomore. So I'm really expecting big things out of her, and I'm pretty sure she's going to come through.
All right, let's start with the girls. I'm going to start with the setter since that's the quarterback of the offense. So, Hannah, how exciting is it to kind of, after that season you guys had last year, just to kind of step up and get back on the court?
I'm really excited. I feel like this upcoming season we have a lot of good plays to run, and a lot of the other girls have been stepping up to fill the holes that we're missing, like you said before. And I'm just really excited.
And then Caitlin, obviously losing some of those big hitters that you guys had, a lot of that's going to fall on your shoulders. How are you ready to embrace that challenge?
We have a lot of new players, a lot of new young players. They play JO. I think they can fill the gaps. They're really pushing to get wins this season.
Coach, when you look at all the kids that you had to replace, it's easy to say, oh, woe is me, but you have some talent. You've developed it. They played some JV and maybe got some varsity time. So you have to turn the page quickly. How are you going to approach the season early on as you're breaking in a lot of new players?
So I'm obviously counting on my libero and my senior DS, Olivia Bartlett, and my libero, Stephanie Meyer. They're really going to carry the offense, and they're really taking the new passers who are Grace Lester and Monica Velazquez under their wings, really pushing to help them get up to speed, and everyone is working so hard. And everyone is just motivated. We really would love to repeat this year as CVC champs, so that's our goal every day. We're in practice. We're pushing as hard as we possibly can. We're allowed to have girls on our bench this year, which we weren't allowed last year, so, I'm going to pull up wherever needed, and we're just, going to work as hard as we possibly can and get back to that top.
Girls, last year, you guys, I want to say you played pretty fast and aggressively because you had so many great hitters. Is it going to be the same style this year? How do you guys see that shaking out?
Don't give away too much.
Right, yeah, don't give away any secrets, but...
I think our offense is pretty fast. We have Caitlin, and like she said, Michaela upcoming, the sophomore, and we also have a couple other players who have really picked up their speed and really have been working hard to get to those fastballs and hit really hard.
A lot of the front row players have a really fast swing, which will help us use the blocks and tips, hits, all of that. Get a lot of kills this season.
We're going to pull out every ace that we have. So, we have some strong right sides. CC Judge, which is a new sophomore that we have pulled up this year. And we have senior Preston Clayman, who's got a lot of years of volleyball under her belt, and a newcomer, Molly Widmore. So everyone's going to do their job, contribute, and we should get a lot of wins.
One of the things I always love to talk about, culture and legacy, things like that, and what you guys accomplished last year, but you ladies accomplished last year, that's a building block. And how do you sustain that success, or at least that excitement around the program? There's going to be some, mountains and peaks and valleys as you're building a program or getting it to the level you want it to be. But how do you kind of sustain it so that excitement's there no matter what happens?
Well, I try to have a sort of larger than life personality. I try to get the younger ages really excited about volleyball, and our numbers are really huge in the middle school this year. And there's a lot of girls really excited about volleyball. It's really exploding, kind of. I think it was a soccer town for a while, but we're really seeing an increase in interest in volleyball. And we ran some camps this year for the middle school, and they loved it, and they're so excited. They want to stay at West G and play because they see that banner on the wall now. They're like, hey, I want to get a year up there. So everyone's really, really excited and motivated to stay on top.
And that was your first banner, if I remember correctly. So that was exciting. Girls, just how nice was that to be a part of that run, to get that banner on a wall, and what was your reaction when you first saw it up there?
In the beginning of the season, we always talked about, this could be the year, but it was just, a hope in, clouds. But then we, accomplished it, and everyone was really excited. And I feel like it's a lot of motivation for this year because we know that we can do it, and we have most of the same team that we did it with, and we can just push really hard and do it again.
And not seeing that banner in the past years, it was kind of sad, but since we got one, it's really exciting for the future.
And now when you look at the conference, we've got, I think, all of our teams are over here now from the Chagrin division. You know what you're up against. They're going to graduate some kids, too. They're going to have some new faces. How do you approach those conference games knowing that you're now the hunted?
I'm okay with it. I mean, there's no pressure when you're the underdog. There's only one way to go but up. But now we're in the driver's seat, and I intend to stay there this year. We pretty much know what we're up against, and there's still a lot of talent on these other teams, so it's not going to be an easy walk in the park for us. But we put a lot of work in, and I still feel really confident about the season.
Girls, any thoughts on that? You're now the hunted as opposed to looking for that title.
I like it. Last year we walked into the gym in the beginning of the season when we only had a couple of games. It was everyone was like, okay, West G's kind of good, but then towards the end of the season, everyone just wanted to beat us, but we couldn't because we just worked so hard for it, and I'm excited for that to happen again this year.
And it's nice having some competition. All of these teams are amazing. They have amazing players, but we're amazing too, so it's good to have some competition.
Okay, we talked about you want to repeat. That's a team goal, and obviously you want to go far in the playoffs. Everybody wants to win the state title. Let's talk about individual goals. What are you guys hoping to accomplish this season?
I'm hoping to really just run my hitters good balls, get their kills up, get my assists up, and then just get the team together as a whole, really get this group of girls bonded together and just us just become one big huge team.
The goal of mine is to have great communication. I think all of these girls we're really close already, so communication is one big thing that I'm looking forward to.
And Coach, lastly, I'll leave you with this. What is it going to take, not just to win the CVC title again, but just to have success, whether it's a conference title or a deep run in the postseason? You know what it's going to take to get there, but how do you put all these pieces together to make it work?
In my opinion, it's always team chemistry. If we can get all the girls on the same page, working towards the same goal, with a good attitude, everybody's got each other's back, no balls hit the ground, I'm playing for you, you're playing for me, then we have absolutely nothing to worry about. I mean, there's been teams in the past that I've coached that had the talent but did not have the chemistry, and it just tore us down, and I've seen it a million times. But as long as we can stay together as one with the same goal, I have no worries.
Outstanding. See, I told you it was like a pop quiz that you had all the answers to. That wasn't too difficult. So thank you for hitting lead off for us here at the Chagrin Valley Conference Volleyball Media Day. That is the 2021 West Geauga Wolverines. Good luck to you all this season. Hope to see you out there on the court somewhere.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, thank you. And next up, I believe it's going to be Beechwood. So that was the 2021 West Geauga Wolverines here at CVC Media Day, Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. So next up we'll have the Beechwood Bison. Head coach Tiffany McFarland. Give them a moment to take their seats, and we'll continue on here with the Beechwood Bison at the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day. Coach McFarland, welcome. I appreciate you guys making the trip out here. Why don't we start out, introduce the girls that you brought with you, and then just give us a little overview of what we can expect out of the Bison this year.
Sure. So I brought my setter, my first year setting at Setter Brooklyn Bennett, and my outside hitter, Kaylee Clark, who they both are seniors. And the captains of the team. So what you guys can expect from Beechwood this year is a team. We're still young, we're still developing, but we're quick. We are competitive, and you can see that we are going to outwork you. We're going to make you work. You know, we may not have the best height this year, but we are definitely going to keep you on your toes in each match.
You bring back one all-conference performer from last year, so that means there's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of new girls getting some opportunity to make some plays. How do you work it all out to where you've got some senior leadership, some veterans, but you're going to have those new faces? How do you put it all together?
Chemistry, and it's all about who can work off of who, can feed off of who. And at this point, you know, we have two of our best hitters leave last season. Now we have we're just building. So how to make it work, we all just have to be together. We play together as a team, and we just feed off each other and each other's energy.
Brooklyn was the setter?
She got the setter.
Setter, okay. So Brooklyn, a lot of that, you're going to be the quarterback of the offense. A lot of pressure, a lot of burden is going to be on your shoulders. How ready are you for this new season and for your role?
I'm very ready for this season. The new role, it was a lot to take on, and there's a lot of pressure with it, but I'm able to handle it and willing to take it on with a positive attitude. So I'm very excited for this season to see where we go.
And Kaylee, Coach talked about some of the hitters you lost, and I remember some of the hitters you guys had 2 years ago that they jumped out of the gym and put the ball down aggressively. How are you going to step in and fill those shoes?
I feel like I could live up to the expectations and still learn to be a better hitter, but I feel like I can hit as well as the girls from last year.
Coach, it takes a fast-paced style of play, aggressiveness, intensity. What have you seen out of your girls in the preseason that has you confident that they're ready to step up?
I just think the way they play together. When we had a scrimmage, I like how they support each other. We are a scrappy team. Like we are not going to let the ball hit the floor. We are definitely going to get every ball that we can get a hand on. So it's very promising, and I think that you guys want to look out for us this season.
A couple years ago, Beechwood made a nice run through the postseason. Like I said, it was a really impressive team to watch. So you had a peak, a little bit of a valley last year as you had some rebuilding. How ready are you guys, and what's it going to take that next step again to get back up to the top?
I think this year that we will be able to go back to the top just because we have a ton of team chemistry. We have a really great connection just on and off the court. I feel like we're able to really work together, and we have a lot of drive and passion for the sport. So we should be able to make our way out of this little valley that we first helped into.
Kaylee, you're one of what has to be several hitters on the team. You can't just have one. So talk about some of the other girls that are, to your left or your right, that are going to be responsible for some of the kills this season.
The other outside hitter, Sarah Katz, I feel like she's very aggressive. She has a nice set that she's going to try to kill it, and she's going to slam it. Our middle hitter, Reese, is her first time playing middle, and she developed fastly. And I feel like she's a great hitter too. So I feel like even though we don't have much height, that we still got a great hitters that can put the ball down.
Coach, you've got some senior leadership to your right. Talk about some of the younger girls that have impressed you early on.
So we have a ninth grade team, or ninth grade that is, has a lot of talent that can help us grow. We definitely have an upcoming ninth grader. She's a middle hitter, Janae. As the season goes on, you guys definitely see improvement in her and see her show out more. But these girls to the right of me, they definitely are leaders on the floor. The girls respect them. So I definitely think that their leadership and guidance for the game on and off the court will help us get to where we need to be during the season.
When you look at conference play, I think the Chagrin division is pretty wide open. West Yaga was up on top last year. They graduated a big class. There was some talent coming back. Chagrin Falls has some talent. Everybody up and down that lineup. So every night you guys are going to have to come ready to play. You girls are going to have to come ready to play. Have you talked about that and how you're going to have to kind of raise your intensity level a little bit?
Yeah, me and Brooklyn, we talked to our team and we just told them that like this is our, not only because it's our senior year, but since we didn't really have like an actual season last year, like people couldn't watch us play and stuff like that, that we just wanted to play very hard this year and get a banner like we did the 2 seasons before. So I feel like everybody on our team is like really determined to play as hard as we can to get a banner.
Do you want to add to that, Brooklyn?
Just to piggyback off of what Kaylee was saying, I think we were very much undermined last season just because we weren't able to have the same support that we had from the previous years and the previous teams. So a lot of people don't really know what to expect from our team, but I do think that we're coming with a lot of determination, a lot of passion, and we do have a lot of talent and skill, so we definitely want to win a banner again this year.
Coach, expectations for the year. Everybody talks about or dreams about state titles and regional appearances, district titles, conference titles. What are your expectations for your team?
I think my biggest expectation is going to grow every game, grow for sure. Just try to just play our game. We don't want to, get ahead of ourselves. We take one game at a time. So my expectation is we just continue to compete and play as hard and play together as a team.
And then girls, I'll leave you with this question. We talked about expectations and goals. Individually and as a team, what do you both hope to accomplish this season?
This season, I really hope to accomplish just more leadership skills from the sport, all in all, and just to gain more talent and growth. I think this is a sport where really you can just grow a lot from without playing the sport. It develops a lot of mental growth and emotional growth and physical growth. So that's just one thing that I really want to take from this season.
I agree with what Brooklyn said. A personal goal, I feel like I just want to not be down on myself by myself, just stay positive, and because I feel like as a captain, as a senior, that my other teammates will kind of like look at me like if I'm in a bad mood playing, and they're going to be in a bad mood, and we all going to be in a bad mood, and it's just going to go downhill from there. So I want to like be the energy of the team to keep everybody motivated and positive, even if we're down points.
Coach, you have to like what you hear from your seniors here. They said all the right things. How does that permeate to the rest of the squad, and whose role is that to make that happen?
It's their role. I can't go out there and play for them. They have to play for themselves, and they are great. They are good leaders. The girls do look and respect them, and I do appreciate that they have stepped up to the challenge as being the captains and leaders of our team. So with that guidance on the floor, I think they rub up on every girls and they respect them.
Last question for you is, at the end of the season, regardless of what your record is, regardless of what you won or didn't win, what do you hope people remember about the Beechwood volleyball team?
That we won't lay down. This team, we will fight. And that's what they're going to teach my girls. And I hope they, have that mentality that, no matter how tough it gets, we have to pull through and we have to play together and stay hard and we work hard. So that's one thing I want everybody to know. The Beechwood, you play us, expect a match or a challenge.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate you ladies making the trip out here. I wish you the best of luck in 2021 and hope to see you on the court.
Thank you.
That was the Beechwood Bison here at the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. Up next, it looks like we have the Hawkins Hawks. Give Coach Hayes a moment to take her seat and start peppering her with some questions.
Thanks for having us.
Outstanding. Thanks for being here. Coach Patty Hayes, the Hawkins Hawks. First off, go ahead and introduce the player you brought with you, and then just give us a quick preview of what we can expect out of the Hawks this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I have junior here, Molly Jared, with us, who's our outside starting hitter. Molly also plays all the way around for us. This year's going to be an interesting one, and I say that in the sense of coming off of the season like last year. We only got to play 10 matches within the season due to having the quarantine, but we ended 3-8. But more importantly, our program is young. We had about 15 freshmen come out last year. We had 19 freshmen come out for our program this year. and sprinkling in a lot of competitive drive, a lot of club experience. And then, we have 2 veterans that have returned for all 3 years. Molly Jared is one, Zoe Cosgrove is another one who's played since their freshman year. And so bringing in different dynamics. So, we're excited to see what that chemistry comes together. This past week has been interesting to see some of them play. A couple scrimmages under our belt, one with Steve earlier today. So it's good. It's definitely a lot of potential, a lot of promise. Once it clicks, I'm really excited to see what that looks like.
All right, Molly, I'm going to start right with you because Coach talked about the youth on the team. Last year, you were second team all-conference as a sophomore, so one of those young players that stepped in for the Hawks and made an impact right away. Now you're a junior and you're one of the leaders on the team. How ready are you for that role?
I'm so excited. Last year we graduated 10 seniors after my freshman year, so that gave me a chance to take that leadership role. But this year I'm even more excited to step into it with so many new players to the team. I feel like it's definitely part of my responsibility to help them grow into the players they can be, and with that confidence that can bring us to really great things.
And Coach, you talked about the youth on your team. You bring back, looks like 5 all-conference players from last year. So solid core to work with. A lot of coaches are graduating 4 and 5 seniors. Most of their team or most of their starting rotation, you've got most of them back. How exciting is that for you?
It's great. It's more importantly, it's their puzzle pieces to put together, and it's really about finding the best fit. Having that experience. I treated last season, we were just grateful to have a season at all. And we treated each game as such. And so we had that chance for many of them that were young last year to step into some of those same exact spaces. So this year, having a little bit more of a routine and a regular schedule and getting into a solid preseason, great show-ups during the summer. The kids are stepping up in different sorts of ways. Having those conversations with now our sophomores of you're not freshmen anymore. And so, what does that look like for you? And what does that ownership look like? We have a pretty big squad this year. We have about 13 players on our varsity program, 1 senior. And so we've got a lot of youth to sort of step into those spaces, competitive drive from a lot of our defensive specialists and possible libero spots. So we're curious to see what the next couple of weeks look like.
1 senior may not bode well for this season as far as that senior leadership everyone loves, but the future is obviously bright when you've got that many kids that are come back. And so, Molly, from your perspective as a junior that really has taken on that role of a senior, you've got a lot of young players. What kind of growth have you seen out of them since they've entered the program?
Well, I think even since the summer work we did and tryouts, everybody's realized that they have a role to play in making this team successful. And so they've really tried to step into whatever role that can be and take whatever criticism as a way to get better and build the program. And I think for the most part, everyone has stepped into that role and is ready to approach this season as a year where they can grow into their best players and leaders on the court.
Coach, rotation, how's it coming together?
Excellent question there, Steve. I think that, so we have 2 freshmen that joined our varsity squad this year. Olivia Myers, who's been doing a bit of outside play for us, and then also Emily Montechino, who is our setter, and she stepped in. She was kind of a secret weapon that showed up in one of our open gyms, and we kind of looked at each other. My assistant coach and I were like, where'd she come from? So I think some of those young players are excited about that space. It also gave a space for, last year we ran a 5-1 with Zoe Cosgrove, and so with Emily coming in, we might have an opportunity to truly run a 6-2, get a couple more kids in there, get a couple more right sides out there to be able to get some height and hitting. Chidema comes back for us on the right side, so we're excited to get her back out there in sort of a solid right side position spot. And so, we're still figuring out some of those specific details, having these opportunities. We have another scrimmage this upcoming Thursday, quad, with a couple of teams with Cardinal, Jefferson, and Chardon. So, I'm excited just to toss a couple of things out into the mix to see what really fits for our cap off on Saturday.
Molly, from a player's perspective, again, coach has expectations. You guys have your own expectations. What have you guys as a group, you girls as a group, what have you talked about?
So I think there's a lot of recognition that we have a lot of skill individually with the team, but we're trying to fit together that piece, that chemistry piece, and also like who will step into those leadership roles, having only one senior, and like energy on the court is so important, and so that's what we're really working on. And with these past 2 scrimmages, we had one last Friday and we had one today. Like you can already tell the difference each girl is putting in to bring their part of the team, and I think that will only grow as season goes on.
And I'll stay with you, Molly. Individual goals, team goals for 2021. What are you looking to accomplish?
Personally, I'm just looking to approach my mistakes from a growth mindset and try and take everything, all criticism, and make it me a better player. And then from a team perspective, I would really like to see us come all together with chemistry, and just because I know every individual on the team deserves to be there, has the skill. I think once we put it together as a full team, like we can do really great things.
Coach, going back to you, the CVC this year, West Jaga won it last year. They had a big graduating class. Everyone goes through that graduation losses. You've got to replace a bunch of players. But this year, the Chagrin division seems to be, at least on the surface, until we actually get on the court, it seems to be pretty wide open. Have you talked to your girls about that and circled any games in particular?
I think that I really enjoyed our Chagrin division in particular. I think that we've been with these coaches for quite a couple years now, and to see some of our own programs sort of shift. I mean, again, Molly's freshman year, losing 10 seniors ourselves and shifting in those same types of ways, watching others, knowing what that did for us. Now I can kind of do the same to teach them. Hey, now other schools are in those same positions. How do we shift? How do we take advantage of that? Seeing West G 3 times last season, that being sort of our final match of the season. Props for them for taking that and doing super well. I think that we're ready for that to be our time, and I think we're excited to potentially take that this year, if not to learn each and every time. That's the biggest thing that I've told the girls. We have an opportunity to play all these teams twice, so let's learn from it each time we do it so that we can step up the next time.
Molly, last one for you. When you, Coach, ran through the rotation, mentioned a lot of girls, from a junior leader's perspective, who are the girls that have gone above and beyond and just kind of impressed you throughout the preseason?
Well, to start off, I'm impressed with all the girls.
Good answer.
The work they've put in. We do have some young leaders that I can definitely see are stepping up. Returning varsity player Chidima Obi, she's a right side. I've seen her grow this year as a leader significantly. And then our back row, they're fighting for it every day, and the competition they put into practices, scrimmages, it's really great to see. And from the whole team, I'm really excited to see where this competitive drive can take us. It's just exciting.
And Coach, last one for you. I don't want you to give away any secrets, but everyone's got strengths, everyone's got weaknesses. You want to maximize your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. How do you roll all that together and put the best team out every night?
For sure. I think with youth in general, it's taking it play by play, and teaching a lot of the soft skills and the actual volleyball skills of how do we adjust, how do we turn from mistakes, how do we come from deficits in these tough, tight games. A couple of these girls seeing the varsity floor for the first time is kind of a transitional piece for many of them. And it's really building that confidence. We've got to do that in practice every day. That's the biggest piece, is to explain to them that those habits are built in practice and they show up on the court on game day. And so as far as the strength, I think the tenacity and the excitement is probably one of our biggest pieces. The kids are excited to play. They're excited to come together. The type of chemistry just of them together and hanging out has been fantastic. It's something that we can't teach. Now it's just a matter of putting some volleyball skills to it and seeing what that magic actually looks like.
Outstanding. I appreciate you guys making the trip out. I keep saying you guys. I am so sorry, but you ladies, I appreciate you making the trip out here, and best of luck to the Hawks this season.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You got it. That was the 2021 Hawkins Hawks volleyball team here at CVC Volleyball Media Day out at Chagrin Falls High School. Up next, I believe we have, looks to be the home team, Chagrin Falls Tigers. Coach Kelly Holtz and her crew taking the seats here at the hot table. Got to make sure I can squeeze in all four of you there. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. All right. And you guys know, pop your microphones on when you're ready to talk. Just flip it up and down when you're not. All right, so Coach Holtz, let's talk. Let's start with you there. Go ahead and introduce the girls that you brought along with you, and then just give us a little overview of what we can expect out of the Tigers this year.
We brought with us two of our seniors and one junior. We have Caitlin Benz to my immediate left. She's a captain this year and will be playing outside for us once her ankle heals. And I have Lily Reaney, also a senior and captain. She's our libero, technically just an outstanding passer and using a lot of court time and throwing a lot of balls our way, hopefully putting us in system. And then we have our junior setter, Kendall Betty. It's her second year on varsity, and she's run leaps and bounds this past year and has gained a lot of confidence. And we're really looking forward to seeing her run the show for us. What we lost in height last year, we lost 3 6-foot players. We have gained in height. We have depth all the way from every player, just any player I could put out on the court and have faith that they'd be able to keep the ball up and be competitive. And that's just very calming, and it allows me to really hone in on strengthening the team as a whole on our skills. So we've had a lot of fun learning about each other the past couple of weeks, and we're looking forward to seeing where the season takes us.
And the young lady to your left, what was her name?
Palin.
Palin, okay. I didn't want to call her Kaylin. That's what I heard. So, all right. So, girls, let's just start there. Whoever wants to take it. It's a new season. Everybody's 0-0 to start off. How excited are you, and what's it going to take for you guys to be successful?
We're very excited this season. We have a lot of new people coming on varsity this year. We have a lot of potential, especially with our younger athletes. We have 3 returning starters and 5 returning varsity members. So we're ready to go out this season and give it our all.
We are so excited. There's a lot of passion, a lot of drive in this team this year, so we're really excited to see where that can take us. I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're really excited to extend the. We're really excited to extend the summer season because summer season was a lot of hard work for all of us, and so excited to see, because we did really well for summer season. We're excited to see how that transfers into our fall season.
From a player's perspective, sometimes when you have a very young team, a lot of people might look at that as a negative. But on the other side, it's a positive because those young players can come in and put their fingerprint on the program early and develop a legacy and a culture. Have you guys sensed that? And if so, what have you seen out of your teammates?
Yeah, all of our younger athletes have totally earned their spot on varsity. I don't think of them as younger and developing, working their way up. I think that they've already earned their spot on varsity and they're already there.
Kendall was the setter?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to you because I love talking to setters. You're the quarterback on the court. What can we expect out of the Tigers offense this year?
We're really excited because we do have a lot of new players, as we just said, in the front row, and they're very excited to start hitting a lot. We did lose, as our coach said, 3 6-foot hitters, but we still have a lot of power in the front row. And with new and younger players comes a lot more excitement, so they're very excited to hit every single ball and get everything they can out of everything.
Coach, a lot of times with young teams, they tend to play a little tentative. I don't want to say scared because I think once you go out there and the ball's in the air, you lose that emotion. But you play a little bit tentative, maybe not as sure of yourself as you might be as you get some more experience. How do you combat that so these girls go out there with the right mindset?
Well, we did have that and with our first scrimmages, and it was a completely healthy response, and that's how we approach it. They're mortified, of course, when they miss serves or swing and miss the ball or go for a ball and just completely miss it, and that's not what they've been doing in practice. We try to create a very healthy environment for our team so that they can learn and have those mistakes and know that that's just a moment in time and it doesn't define them overall. And we're very clear about that. Day in, day out, that's the message that we give them. So they've really embraced that mentality, and because of that, they just go after everything, kind of reckless abandonment. It's exciting and a little intimidating, but because of it, I think that it'll just keep us very scrappy for the season. And it just keeps them excited because they know if they make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, and they just move on to the next ball.
From the player perspective, as coach is telling you that mistakes are okay, those are going to happen, effort, that type of thing, do you see that out of your teammates? Have they grown from that first practice until today?
Yes, I definitely think we have, over the past couple of weeks, definitely grown. Our mindset is completely switched. Each year we have a word that we go by for the season, and this year it's persist. So despite a failure, we push through, and I'm definitely seeing that with each practice. We come back stronger, with more drive and passion. So.
And let's start from the right and work our way left. Kendall, you can start and just talk about your individual goals and what you hope to accomplish as a team this year.
I would like to be a bigger leader on the court than last year because I'm an upperclassman now and it's my second year, so I'm returning varsity. And I really want to just lead on the court as a setter should, so that's very exciting. And for a team, I just hope that we're able to progress and grow as I've seen from the summer season to now. I think we can grow even more going through the fall season, so I'm excited for that. My personal goals as a passer is to strengthen my serve receive and be more consistent with that. And as a team, again, I agree with Kendall. I want to keep our summer momentum through the fall and prove to everyone that we have the passion that it takes to be a strong team.
My personal goal is to really use everything I've learned over the past year. We had a really great summer. We learned a lot, and I'm excited to use that on the court this year. For a team goal, I'd say just to keep positivity. We are such a positive team, and I'm just so excited to play with these girls and just have that feeling that you get on the court and everybody's just happy and excited. I'm really excited just to start the season. Like, I'm so excited.
Coach, you're the fourth team we've talked to today, and all in the Chagrin division. And it sounds like there's a big youth movement in the Chagrin division in particular, a lot of graduation losses. So the door is open for whoever wants to knock it there, walk through it and win the CVC title. How do you get your girls to understand the opportunity they have in front of them?
Well, we just want them to be the best that they can be. I think that's the only thing that they ever have control over. And like I said, we've tried to really create an environment where they can learn and grow and explore what those boundaries are. And we just have to have faith in the process because we never have control over the outcome. So we're really just trying to instill that in them because I feel like that's a bigger life skill for them overall. And I think the games will take care of themselves if we do the work.
And girls, we'll go left to right this time. Last question for you guys is I want to hear your keys to victory, each individually. Just what's it going to take for you guys to go out and play consistently on every night and go out and achieve your goals?
I would say the biggest thing that a team can have for success is positivity in the court. You can tell when a team is happy and joyful and loves what they're doing. So we just stay positive and go out with that passion inside of us. I think it's going to be an amazing season.
I think our biggest thing that's going to lead us to victory is our bonding that we have as a team. I already feel really close with all the girls on our team, and I love the group that we've created and the passion that everybody has together. And we do a lot of team bonding, a lot of scavenger hunts, and bonding with the other team, bonding with the younger girls. So just the bond that we have all together is just amazing, and I think that spirit right there will lead us to victory. I think that our being a very scrappy team will come in handy for us because playing out every single ball and going for everything and playing to the whistle will be really, really instrumental in making us win every game and do very well.
Coach, did they say all the right things?
Of course they did.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the Chagrin Falls segment here from 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day here, the home team Tigers. Ladies, I appreciate you making that long trip or cutting your practice short, however you worked it out, but I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you this fall.
Thank you for having us.
Once again, that was the Chagrin Falls Tigers here at CVC Volleyball Media Day. We are about to wrap up the Chagrin division with the Orange Lions who are in the house. And then we'll move into the Lake Division, followed by the Metro Division and the Valley Division. So we got a full night of volleyball previewing taking place here as Orange coach Jen Gold settles in at the microphone. No players with you, Jen?
No players are practicing, Steve.
They're practicing, all right. My old friend Jen Gold, and I don't mean old in terms of age, but we go back a long ways. Flip your microphone up. There you go. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so Jen Gold, head coach out at the at Orange High School, the Lions. Coach, normally I have coaches introduce their players, but you're here, so I don't need you to introduce anybody, but let's just start out with a preview. What can we expect out of the Orange Lions this year?
Well, coming into the season, even coming out last season, our goal upon ending last year was to be more competitive this year. So that is the goal that we are looking at on all three levels of our team, all three levels in our program, but especially varsity. We have some good things. We have some returning defensive players back in place. We have some young talent offensively that's coming in. We have a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior that are going to probably not, as long as they're healthy, not come off the floor very much. And then we have a total of 15 that we know can step in and take the place, of anybody if needed throughout the season. But the main focus of our program right now is that we intend on being more competitive than we have in the last couple of years.
I guess one of the good things for you heading into the new year is you're now the fifth team here in the Chagrin division that we've talked with, and everybody's got this youth movement going. So it's not like you're going to run into a team that has 6 starters back and a pack full of seniors. So you've got an opportunity. How do you convey that to your girls so that they understand that what happened last year, the year before, none of that matters. It's all a fresh start for you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the message that we've been trying to portray, my assistant coach Dave DeWolf and I, is each day you come back and practice harder. We are going to make a focus. Tomorrow is going to be we video recorded our scrimmage on Saturday. We played Berkshire and East Lake Orange for a little scrimmage, and we are going to take watching films a lot more seriously than we had, and add that in so that the girls can see their huddle, reports in their huddle games that we record, and I think that's going to be an intricate piece for them to actually see it. They would watch on their own, but we're going to actually break it down with them,
right?
And we're like football or any other sport would do, and that's something that we haven't done a lot of lately. So I think that's one thing that we're portraying to them each day. Win or lose, we're going to come back. We're going to watch the films. We're going to see what we can do to get better, and we're going to keep. We're trying to also zone in on healthy inter squad competition, and that's why I kept 15. Yes, had some seniors I didn't really want to get rid of. It's always hard, but I wanted to say, there's always someone looking in the rearview mirror. And so it's somebody that's ready to take your place to kind of promote that inner squad.
It has to be that way, yeah. Well, you spoke of that scrimmage on Saturday. My daughter came home, and I asked her how it went. I asked her, how you guys looked, and she said, they have some hitters. So let's start there. Let's talk about your attack.
Okay, well, my best player, who's a freshman, was not there. She's injured at the moment. So if we can stay healthy and get her back in, we'll be definitely more competitive. Do you want me to say her name?
Sure, absolutely. Give them all a shout out.
We're going to get, so that's Jenna Shedden. She's one of our best offensive players, actually best all-around players, and she's just coming up into her freshman year, and right now injured with a back injury. So once we can get her healthy, she's doing all the right things to get there. That's going to be, and Berkshire or North didn't get to see that this weekend. In addition, we also had a player that went to the emergency room on Saturday morning before and didn't come to the scrimmage.
Oh, no.
The starter. So we were a little frazzled when we took the floor with Berkshire first, and then by the time we kind of calmed down and got back into our groove, once we were over the fact that these two were not playing today and stuff like that. But I just did some team building with them before I came down, and I think with things like that, to just get to know the different grade levels and each other, it's going to come. I feel like my assistant coach feels it, that this is a different year than over the last 4 years. We have the pieces parts. It's just a matter of, can we get them all together and healthy, and to actually see that go on the floor. So my second is a sophomore. My next best player is a sophomore. 2 of them are pretty competitive with each other. And she was here last year, Kiki. She would have gotten Kiki Kerrigan.
I remember Kiki.
Yeah, would have gotten that freshman award if it wasn't for COVID and things like that. But she's looking real good, real strong right now. So she's ready to go, healthy, good. And then we've got an experienced junior who was my setter last year. She's going to do setting and hitting this year because we need her attack. We need her to hit. That's Taylor Silverstein. So that we got a freshman, sophomore, and junior that are going to be the 3 leading the floor out there. Right. And we've got some great defensive players to add in.
And Taylor, all conference last year, right? Looks like second team.
Yeah.
You're one that's returning, so good. And then defensively, obviously, you got to keep the ball off the floor. So who's stepping up there so far?
Stepping up defensively will be a returning senior. Her name is Catherine Hamilton. Didn't get any awards per se last year, but has been a strong. She's played on the varsity since she was a sophomore. Not necessarily a lot, but she's been on our squad since she was a sophomore. She's got a lot to offer and great leadership. Great leadership with some of these senior girls. In addition, there's Megan Decaro. She's coming back as a junior. She was a defensive player last year. Whether or not we're going to have a libero this year is going to depend on whether we want to run a 5-1. We're practicing both. And it's going to just see what kind of options are going to open, whether or not we're going to do a 5-1 or a 6-2. And I guess it depends on health and wellness, who's healthy and able to play. So those things you just kind of got to roll with until you can, know exactly, what's going on. But yeah, so those 2, Megan, definitely look for Megan Zuccaro, Catherine Hamilton. Got a kid back that was played her freshman year, did not play sophomore, junior because of COVID. She's a senior. Nice all-around player, but really a defensive player. So she's another addition. We're heavy throughout the program in defense, in defensive players. So there's even some great young JV players. A freshman is playing as a libero on JV that can work her way up if she tries. So.
And I think all that's left is who's running the show offensively.
Okay. Well,
that's a perplexed look.
It is a perplexed look because we have, as far as the hitters go, we have a number of hitters, both middle. Our strongest are Kiki and Taylor on the outside. That's where they like to hit. We may be moving some players around. Even those 2 could be looking at not hitting there and maybe hitting in the middle. We're working out our middles right now as far as who's going to step up. Lindy Lykin is a sophomore that is came with us to our tournaments last year just because she did a real nice job at her level. She played both freshman and some JV last year. So she's a middle. She's been playing as a middle. She'll be a middle or a right side hitter. But she's definitely going to contribute this year, I think. As soon as she gains a little bit of confidence, she's working on that. And at Berkshire, and she looked a little like, I got to get the jitters out. And she did. So I'm looking forward to the next time. We go Saturday to Paynesville tournament, little quad, Paynesville. Right. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Every team has to have goals, especially when you have young teams. You need some attainable goals along the way. What kind of goals do you guys have for the year?
Well, other than being competitive, which is, I told you, our program goal, we did some other, to meet that goal, we did things like we had Kent State Camp came in, actually Monday and Tuesday of August 2nd when we were allowed to start. And then we had tryouts the day after they came in. So I had 31 participate, so they were dedicated to getting as much out of Kent State coaches and players coming in to run a camp. We also started about 7 to 9 players to part of we called it Lions Club, and it's just basically when you can work with the 4 you're allowed to work with in the off season, when you're allowed to bring those players together and help.
Right.
So I had about 9 that shifted through there. So their mindset, I think it's about mindset, and I think their mindset has shifted. We worked a lot on changing the culture in the last 4 years, and this group is just such a nice group of girls. Well, actually, the whole program, really nice group of kids, but especially on the varsity, that piece has really come a long way, and I think that with their continued commitment and ability to make these extra things, they don't all play JO, some of them can't. So with that being said, I'm trying to offer as much as I can in-house for them to do in case they can't get to the extras and clubs and stuff like that. So as far as the other goals, besides, being more competitive, we've met a lot of them. I had 42 try out, so I have numbers.
That's awesome.
And I have numbers in middle school as well. So that piece was one of our goals, years ago, and we've definitely met that. All of our theater programs have been going for several. So all of those pieces are in place now and running well. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to finally reap the benefits, especially like with this freshman class, because there was a few strong players. I've got 2 other freshmen playing up. So especially with this class, and then my 7th grade's a strong little group there, especially with them coming up. In the future, we'll start to see the benefits.
That's outstanding. It's good to see when you get those numbers, you get the young kids, and then when you have that talent in those young classes, that certainly bodes well for the future. So that's good to hear. But that's great. Glad you could make the trip out here. Sorry you had to miss a little bit of your practice. Hopefully you can make up for it. But always good to see you. And
great seeing you, Steve.
All right, and good luck to you and the Lions this year.
Thank you so much.
That was Coach Jen Gold from Orange High School, the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day live from Chagrin Falls High School. That's going to wrap it up for the Chagrin division. Up next. Oh, Geneva's here. Sorry about that. I've got Geneva coming through. Wait, I think Geneva's in the Lake division. I think we're okay. Yes, the Chagrin division has wrapped up. We've got Geneva in the Lake division, so they'll be coming up momentarily. You guys are in the Lake division, right? Yeah, so you got a couple minutes yet. So we had Geneva trying to sneak in here. We'll pick on them when it's their turn at the table. But we're going to take a quick break. We will be back here momentarily. It's 5:52. We've got about 8 minutes until the Lake Division kicks off, so we will talk to the Lake Division volleyball teams here in about 8 minutes. We're going to take a quick break from Chagrin Falls High School, the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day.
Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. I'm Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director, and kicking off the Lake Division for us are the Geneva Eagles and Coach Anna Hazler. Coach, thank you guys for making it. Thank you, ladies, for making. I keep saying that, and I apologize. I try not to do that, but thank you, ladies, for making the trip out. Coach, just go ahead and introduce the players that you brought with you, and then just give us a little preview of what we can expect out of the Eagles this year.
Thank you for having us. I brought our two senior captains here. This evening we have Kennedy Landris. She'll be a senior captain for us. She plays in the middle. And Caitlin Manerick, also a senior captain. She's kind of playing everywhere this year, in the middle, on the outside. Yeah, that's what I have with us tonight. As far as this year, I think we come back stronger, I think, than last year. I think we did a lot of work in the off season with our overall strength. We did some training at Spire, so we're excited to see the effects of that training.
Okay, and you've got two of your four all-conference performers from last year that are back, that are here with you. That's a nice solid core when you can bring back four kids that earned all-conference honors. What does that do to set the tone for the season for the rest of the girls?
Sorry, I gotta turn it on. I think you're referring to Sydney. Sydney Park, I believe, was part of the CVC honorable mention maybe. And
right.
And along with these two girls.
And Gianna DeLuca.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of our core returning winners there. We have a strong setter coming back with Gianna. She's going to do more hitting for us this year. Sydney as well is going to continue on the outside. She's playing a little bit of middle for us this year. And then, these two bring some strong leadership back. So I think the core group is strong.
And let's start with the players. I'll go left or right. Caitlin, how exciting is it just to kick off another season? You can put last year behind you, good or bad, and now you get to write a new chapter.
It is very exciting. I think we are way more prepared for this year. COVID last year was just was definitely a back set for us, but we've been training very hard, and I think this is a very good season for us. I'm excited for it.
Kennedy, I know you. I think it's going back a couple of years now, but just looking at your opportunity ahead of you, is 2 years ago when I met you, you were a little freshman with potential, and now you're an upperclassman. How cool is that, and how much are you looking forward to the season?
It is amazing to see the team grow throughout the years, and we're really excited to get through the season and bring some energy back.
Coach, you've got a nice mix of veteran players coming back with some talent. Obviously, you're going to have some new faces. How do you make it all work? What have you done so far?
Well, this year's an interesting group. We have through the whole program, we have a large group of sophomores. They're a talented group, but again, they're still sophomores. They're young. They're learning every year, and I'm excited to see where their future holds. We have a small group of juniors, but within that group, we have our libero as a junior, and we have a lefty on the backside. Lily, I think she's going to add to the mix a little bit. And our other setter, Brooke Richmond, she is a sophomore setter, and she's going to swing in the middle. I think we have the right mix. I mean, we don't have one person that stands out. I think, where we're going to show our strength is in our versatility. I think we have a bit strong attack coming kind of at all angles.
Who's running the offense? Who's your setter?
Gianna DeLuca and Brooke Richmond. We're going to run a 6-2. And we have a backup setter, Hannah Costello, as well. I mean, I think our bench is deep and excited, and we're ready to go.
When you look at strengths and weaknesses, and you have to kind of balance those two out, what strategy have you taken to kind of hide your weaknesses a little bit while maximizing your strengths?
I think we just have to maintain some consistency, and with the bulk of our players of our strength being sophomores, I think that we got to get them some experience, and the seniors have that experience and have more of the emotions behind the game. So I think we just need to get some consistency in our emotions and in our level of play.
Caitlin, obviously, as a senior leader, you're going to be tasked with going out and playing consistently on a nightly basis, but you've also got to impart your wisdom to the younger players. How have you done that so far?
I think I just try to stay like the best support I can for them when they're getting down. I try to do my best and try to get them back up and just let them know that it's one mistake and we just have to move on to the next one. I think that's how I learned myself, so I'm just trying to put that onto them.
And Kennedy, I believe you were a freshman when Jordan Venzel was a senior. Is that right, or was that?
She was a junior.
She was okay. So you had. I knew you had. I thought you had at least a year with her. One of the best multi-sport athletes that I've covered, and just to know how intense she was and how committed she was to every program. What did you learn from her that you're trying to pass along to the younger kids now?
Just keep up the energy and positivity. We wouldn't always do great every game, but she was always there and making sure that we felt good about how we played that night and could just find the best of every game.
Coach, the Lake Division has gotten better. Edgewood had a nice season last year. Perry has some talent. They've got some kids coming back too. Lakeside had a great year. So pretty stacked division. How do you get the girls to understand that there isn't a night off in the division? You can't go in and say, okay, well, this is a team we should easily beat. How do you get them ready every night for a tough conference slate?
Well, I think any opponent we play, we have to go in with the same mentality. It used to be in years past you would play certain schools or whatever and you think you have almost a night off. It's not the case. Competition is in every match this season. It's a small group. Teams of 5 teams there, but I think it's tight. You get the questionnaires where do you think you're going to finish? I always say we hope we're in the middle top. That's where we want to be because I think it could be anybody.
Absolutely, and last year I think it showed it. I mean, there were teams that I thought should have won a game, and it was 3-2, or maybe there was an upset. So you have that opportunity. So from a player perspective, Caitlin, Kennedy, just knowing that every time you go out there, you have a chance to win, but you also have a chance that the other team could either upset you or just beat you. How do you guys kind of balance those emotions and keep yourselves ready to go?
I think we just have to play our hardest every single time. We have to go out there 110% every time. It really is no day off. You just have to play your best and hope that everyone else is doing the same.
We just have to try and keep that consistency too with every game because we just thought we could go in and win, but now you got to really try every single night.
Who are some of the young players that didn't see a lot of varsity time or making their first appearance on varsity that you kind of expect to contribute quite a bit this year?
We don't have any freshmen on varsity this season, so really our new faces were the same new faces as last year. Brooke Richmond and Sydney Park. So those 2 players, they're sophomores. They're going to be playing a lot all the way around, kind of make a name for themselves. I think they had a year to grow and a year to get stronger, and they're putting the ball down, so I'm excited for them.
Caitlin, one of my favorite things to talk about, it's legacy and culture. So you're a senior, you've got, 22 games plus hopefully a long postseason run. When all of that's said and done, what do you hope people remember about you and your impact on the Geneva volleyball program?
I hope that they just remember me as a friendly player and just someone to look up to even after. I just hope my teammates remember me and just try to, I want to leave my mark there, I guess, and just hope that they use it.
Kennedy, same question to you.
I really want to help the younger players and get them ready for their seasons coming up when they have to fill in for not just us, but the next seniors. So that's what I'm trying to hope to be remembered by.
And Coach, last one for you is everybody measures success differently. Some people aren't satisfied if they don't win a state title or a district title or a conference title. How are you going to measure success knowing you've got a little bit of a younger team that you're trying to develop into a program that sustains success?
Measurement of success could be, oh my goodness, lots of different ways. I look at it in a lot of different ways. I think of the girls that return every year. If they're coming back, that's a measure of success. I think we got a freshman program back this year, so that to me is a measure of success already. I think just improvements in small battles for them, like what they're working on. Covering the line. Oh, I finally got it, just to see that look in their face. I think that's a measure of success. I think as long as we're going every game, playing our hardest, playing together, I think after last year, we really learned that, win or lose. I mean, we still made it through, and we were positive throughout the whole thing. So I think every game is going to be, there'll be some measure of success, win or lose.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate you ladies making the trip out here. I know it's not a short ride. I was out your way yesterday for Football Media Day, so glad you could be here and look forward to seeing you on the court this year.
Thank you for having us.
Sure. That was the 2021 Geneva Eagles here at CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls. Up next, I believe it is Lakeside. All right, the Lakeside Dragons coming in. 19-3 last season, 9-2 in conference play. So we'll see the Dragons here momentarily. Again, that was the 2021 Geneva Eagles. Coach Anna Hazler and crew. Got to see them, I think, once last year, or a couple times the year before. Lakeside, I know we streamed a couple of their games last season. They had a great run, couple great matches with Perry for that divisional title in the Lake Division. It'll just be a moment here as Lakeside attempts to take its seat at the hot table. Take a quick break to recognize one of our CVC TV sponsors.
Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. And next up, we've got the Lakeside Dragons and head coach Stephanie Kubek. Coach, thanks for joining us, making that long trip from Ashtabula, not exactly the closest drive, but appreciate you being here. Why don't you start out by introducing the players you brought with you, and then just give us a quick preview of the Dragons.
Okay. All right. So on my right, I have Adriana Campbell Hall. There you go. She's a senior. And then on my left, I have Chris Jaley Rodriguez, and she is a returning junior.
Chris Jaley. All right. I just want to make sure I get that right. All right. Now on with your preview.
Okay. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, just tell us a little bit about your expectations for the season. What have you seen so far, and how hopeful are you that you're going to sustain some success?
Yeah. So as you know, I think you had interviewed us, I think, last year. We graduated 9 seniors, and a very good class, and we left a really great legacy. But we have some nice up and coming, sophomores and juniors filling the spots in there. And I think the girls had a preview yesterday, and they're very happy. And I think a little surprised, and we surprised a lot of people in the county with the talent that we have. And the girls are showing a lot of excitement, and every day is a great practice.
I have to imagine winning 19 games and all the excitement that came with that. That had to kind of give your younger program, like middle school and youth program, a little bit of jolt. Did you see that? Are more girls running around wearing Lakeside volleyball shirts?
Well, during JO season, we had a lot more interested coming, trying out. A lot did not finish or did not go because of the pandemic, and they were worried about it. But yeah, we did see some girls that, in the past that hadn't played and wanted to try and come out. Still, we haven't been down to the junior high a lot. They couldn't really watch us. And I think that really hurt us last year because we don't even be able to have 2 tickets or 3 tickets or whatever. So a lot of people weren't able to watch. So I think that did hurt. But I know they have really good numbers down at the middle school.
Yeah, that's actually a good point you made about the impact, and not many people talk about that, is the impact that losing that opportunity for younger kids to come out and watch the high school girls. You lose that whole year, and kids lose interest, and it's so important to have them out there.
Yeah, and we were able to run like some camps, that in the past. So really we were pushing the jail program, and so we got a little bit more interest. They keep getting phone calls, now that they see the girls that did play JO and where they're at, and they go, okay, what do we need to do? So,
All right, Christina, I'm going to start with you. Since last year as a sophomore, you earned first team all-conference honors. What did that mean to you, and how did it kind of help you elevate your game for this season?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just pretend it's a volleyball and crush it. The question was, last year as a sophomore, you earned first team all-conference honors, and now you're a junior. You graduated a big class, so you're going to carry a bigger burden this year. But how did it help you, the success you had last year, kind of prepare you for what you're going to take on this year?
I think so. She's very shy, and she was very worried about coming. So I think that Chris had a lot of pressure, and she's had pressure since she's a freshman and a sophomore, and she knows that she's going to be getting the ball a lot because she's that outside. So she is preparing the younger girls and really encouraging them on and helping them out. She's not had to do this because she always had her sister J-Lo right there telling everybody yes. She says yes. And so she's now has to be one of the team leaders and guiding them and helping them know what to do and the expectations. And yesterday, after we had that scrimmage, her face, she just came over and gave me a high 10. And she goes, Coach, it looks good. They're in their cute little accent, so I try to imitate it all the time.
So at least you recognize it. That's good. You may not be able to verbalize it, but you recognize when things are going well. That's okay. All right, Adriana, so last year you guys going out, winning 19 games, having a great season. You graduated a lot of your teammates, so now stepping in, you've got a bigger role to face. How are you ready for that challenge?
At first I didn't know if we were going to have enough people come out to be able to fill the roles, but going to open gyms and tryouts and seeing all the effort and new people ready to try it, I got excited. The way the new younger girls are filling the roles is pretty awesome. Every practice, everybody's working hard, so I think that's really great. It's going to help us be successful this season too.
And whoever wants to take this one, obviously last year having such success, you're not unknown anymore. You're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. They know, oh, wait, Lakeside came to play last year. We better be ready. How has that changed the way you approach practices and matches this year?
Okay. All right. So, yes, I think a lot of people were shocked about our talents and our success last season. I saw it, 2 years ago. So I think we kept hearing you have 9 seniors, you have 9 seniors, you have 9 seniors. I go, yeah, we have we have 3 very good, solid seniors, and we have 1, but we have up and coming players that can fill those roles. And I think we shocked a lot of people because we went to some stuff in the summertime, and they all stopped and looked and like, okay, they can pass, okay, they can have. Our biggest thing was not we didn't have a setter. We had nobody, even the JV setter didn't come out. That she didn't even want to set last year at JV. We were hoping a freshman was going to step in. So we had somebody in mind, and I had one girl step up and say, Coach, let me try setting. And she's doing phenomenal. Her name's Andy. We'll call her Ando. And so they saw the success, those younger girls. The seniors left this legacy. They left it, and they saw the hard work and what can happen. And these girls are just filling the roles, and they're doing a phenomenal job.
You segued right into my next question. You kind of stole it. I was going to throw Chris Jaley a softball about the setter, but now I'm going to go to her. I'm going to just ask her an easy one. Chris Jaley, what did you learn from your sister, who had a lot of success on the volleyball court? What did you learn from her that you're kind of implementing into your own game?
To be a leader, just like her, and to play as hard as I can.
See, that was fantastic. Just takes a little bit of practice. I screw up all the time, so and I'm always live. I don't get to say, I don't want to do it anymore. But no, good work.
One thing we do miss with her sister, those two used to a good fight. They used to fight for the ball, not yell at each other. They wanted the ball all the time. They remember that.
Now it's us too.
Yeah, those two. They fight, we used to love it. They would go after the ball all the time, and in the middle of the game, I would have to stop fighting.
That's me and my siblings. We fight all the time, and we still fight, and we're too old to be fighting. All right, Adriana, going back to losing such a big senior class, and you're now one of the veterans, one of the upperclassmen. How have you embraced those younger kids that are stepping in, and how are you kind of helping them get through all the struggles that they're going to have? Sometimes they're not going to make the play they should have. They might be down on themselves. Sometimes you're going to make a great play and you want to congratulate them. But how are you kind of balancing all that while preparing yourself for the season?
So I try to make them feel as comfortable as possible because I was the shy freshman. I just started playing volleyball my freshman year, so I didn't really know a lot about the sport. So I try to make sure that the young girls are comfortable, whether they know what they're doing or not. Because I feel like when you're comfortable, it's easier to learn too. So you're not going to get better if you're not.
And whoever wants to take this one, what are the strengths of the Dragons this year? What are you guys going to lean on?
So, our strength last year was our serving and our defense. And actually our strength this year is our offense. This is the best offensive team I've had since being at Lakeside.
And that's got to be scary for the Lake Division coaches that are listening in.
Yeah, but they got some good offense too. But this is the best, and so just getting our young, inexperienced setter in there and making that connection, and they can do a great job in the CVC if we make that connection in there. And I do want to say something about Adri. Her coming in as a senior leader. Adri has just done a phenomenal job being a leader out there. I know that the other girls play JO. She doesn't. She's a basketball player playing volleyball. So, we were happy she came back out because I know she had all her friends from last year. And I know being a senior sort of tough losing that friendship and all of them. But she has just led the young girls. They absolutely love her. They come in with a smile and they work hard. And she's been doing a phenomenal job as our senior captain out there.
Well, that'll take me into my next question for you then, Adriana. One of the things I love talking about is culture, legacy, just those things that what athletes are leaving behind for the younger kids to follow. And Coach just described it perfectly. It sounds like you're doing all the right things. But how important is it to you that people remember you that way?
It's very important to leave a good legacy and have them remember that. I feel like if you don't leave a good legacy behind, nobody else is going to want to participate in what you're doing.
And Chris Jaley, going back to last year compared to this year, where did you get better? What parts of your game improved?
My leadership, I can dance the level.
And as a first-team all-conference performer, as an outside hitter, you had to do pretty well last year. When were you at your best? I mean, what was it that drove you to succeed and hammer the ball into the floor?
What game?
Well, like what inspired you to do so well, to perform at such a high level?
My team, my sister, and my mom.
See, and that's family. It goes back to culture. See, it all comes together.
When we had yesterday during the preview, we had somebody come over and talk to us, and they said, who's, asking about her number, and we said, well, that's Chris J-Lee, J-Lo's, younger sister. So she also sort of got outshined, because J-Lo's personality was a huge personality. And I think a lot of people did not know Chris. She was sort of our hidden little, like little gem in there.
Right.
And they go, she plays with so much passion and so much love in her facial expression. She doesn't even know. And she gets not only excited when she does something well, she gets so excited when a teammate does something, great up there. And you just see that passion for her game, and that's when she starts to get better. When she sees her teammates being successful, and she wants to contribute and do that much better.
All right, Adriana, I'll start with you. What are your individual goals and team goals for this season?
So my individual goal is I want to actually hit the ball because I tend to tip it and play the safe route. So I just want to have more confidence in my hitting abilities. And then as a team, I want to be able to have fun and still work hard at the same time. I feel like we'll be more successful when we're having fun.
And Chris J-Lee, what do you hope to accomplish this season? What are your goals?
To play as team and to be a great player.
You said it. See, you need that confidence that you have on the volleyball court here at the table. All it does, it takes practice.
I just can't.
It takes practice, and like I said, I have to do this all the time, and I'm not good at it, and I embarrass myself all the time. But you'll gain confidence. Like at least now, I can make fun of myself on the broadcast instead of worrying about it. So it's all good. So, Coach, after last year, it's going to be hard to replicate that success. But what's it going to take to even make a run at that?
It is. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. I know that Perry is that favorite going in there because they have Sammy. They're that phenomenal hitter, and they got a really good senior class as well. We were really surprised. Edward did a great job in the preview. Got some young kids, and Geneva, of course, is always solid with a good coach. So with us, I just feel we work so much together as a team. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people out there and see we're very quick to the ball as well. And our serves are getting to that level of last year as well. So I think just the younger girls stepping up and having the confidence and putting it all together, and our setter, starting to connect with the hitters. I think that's going to make us a powerful team.
Okay. And last one for you is we've talked a little bit about the division already, Perry and Edgewood, and you got to see some of them at your preview. But it's such a good and competitive division. It makes you bring your A game every night. How do you get the girls to understand that and to come out and play consistently and aggressively and intensely, but at the same time, calmly?
Yeah. So we know the first year when we were in the CVC, like Fowler came over from, I don't know what conference he was in, when he would go down to Youngstown. He goes, oh my gosh, his conference is kicking my butt. I mean, it wasn't when we played Beechwood, and they were phenomenal, and all senior league, and then, Hawkins and Chagrin Falls, So I think that first year, it helped us prepare for the next year. And, knowing day in and day out, every team was really good, out there. There was no easy teams out there. So I know they know from day one, preparing, being ready, they see the schedule and they know that it's going to be just a fight every single one, and everyone's going to be a good competition. They like the competition, so they love it. They don't like the easy teams. They love that fight out there. So that's awesome.
Well, that's good. You don't win 19 games without that type of passion. So that was a great season you guys had last year. I hope you can sustain that success. And Chris J-Lee, you're gonna get there next year. Media Day, I'm gonna have to cut you off because we're gonna be talking so much. I know it's gonna happen. Adriana, I appreciate you guys making the trip out. Coach, thank you, and good luck to the Dragons this season.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Sure. That's the 2021 Lakeside Dragons here at CVC Volleyball Media Day.
Okay, thanks.
We are wrapping up the Lake Division now. And at 7 p.m., we are going to kick off with the Metro Division. So we will take a short break here. Appreciate you joining us. We're going to take a break until right about 7 o'clock as the Lake Division begins here from Chagrin Falls High School.
Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to Chagrin Falls High School for the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director, and all day long we've been previewing the Chagrin Valley Conference's volleyball teams. Up next is the Metro Division, and we're going to start out with the Brooklyn Hurricanes and head coach Debbie Hall. Coach, welcome to the show. Glad you can make the trip. First off, go ahead and introduce the girls that you brought along with you, and then just give us a quick preview of what we can expect out of the Hurricanes this year.
Okay. This is Aubrey Kaminsky. She's a senior, and she is our starting libero. And this is Savannah David, and she is also a senior, and she is our starting DS. This year, we worked hard all summer. We're in our building year, like the second year of our building program, and we actually have a freshman team this year, which is great for our numbers. So I'm looking forward to a good season.
That's awesome when a smaller school can field a freshman team. Normally, you've got like my kids go to Berkshire, and they have two JV teams. They don't have enough for just a freshman. So that's great that you guys can do that. You talked about the numbers and that rebuilding, so that's important. I know a couple of years ago you had a Jaden Waltz, who one of the best players I've ever seen. So I've been following her at Bowling Green. Just a phenomenal kid coming out of that program, and. So looking at what you have, you're in a little bit of a rebuilding mode. You got a couple of good seniors here. I remember Savannah David's name from your score reporting and all that, so I've heard all about her already. So you've got some talent. You've got a little bit of leadership there. How do you kind of to blend it all together? All those new kids that you're going to throw on the court for the first time and mix them in with your seniors and upperclassmen?
Well, like I said, we have been working hard all summer. We've had a good core that's been coming in for open gyms, and with our senior leadership, we have another senior that's also not with us today. They just talk to each other. They play as a team. They confide in each other. They work well together. And I'm always with saying, give me the best you have, and that's all I can ask for. Work hard, be committed, and I like to build their confidence so that we focus more on their strengths instead of their mistakes. And I do think that with, like I said, our senior leadership here, and I think we are working toward having a very good contending season.
Savannah, Aubrey, both of you guys can answer this one, whoever wants to go first. But 4 years ago, you were a wide-eyed freshman coming into the Brooklyn program, and that I believe you might have had Jaden's sister on the team as well. So, I mean, those are two phenomenal volleyball players to kind of follow in their footsteps. What did you learn from back in those days when you were the new kid on the block, and now you're the seniors that you're going to use what you learned? What did you learn?
Talk a lot. This talking helps a ton. It's also 95% mental, so like the mental aspect of it helps a lot, and they help us all. They were all good all-around players. They helped not to back row the things, like setting to very well to setter. She helped me with that. But I was very nervous playing at first, but they all come a lot.
And Aubrey?
I would agree. Like playing with Jaden, it's like he's like such it's crazy seeing her now, like in college, and how like the fact that I was able to share the court with her is like, kind of crazy. And yeah, she helped me gain confidence.
And that's going to be key for your team this year because you're going to have some new players out there. So that confidence that you helped, you learned from watching her play and how she approached the game. How do you kind of pass that on to the younger kids? What have you talked to them about, and how do you kind of display that leadership that you're supposed to fill?
Like Coach said, help them as much as you can. Only do your best, try your best, and we'd be happy with it, and just maybe the compliments of it. But we also have like players that come up from JV to help us if we don't have enough people or if someone's out of the game. We also have to call them and help them out on that.
I also agree with that. Just like telling them to not rely on anyone, be confident in yourself that you can like get that ball and make that play like on your own. You don't have to rely on anyone.
Coach, obviously bringing in a handful of new kids in a rebuilding type of year, you're going to have all kinds of challenges. What are some of the ones you faced in the preseason, and how did you kind of overcome them?
A lot of it was, we're still dealing with the aspects COVID, and bringing in new kids, and we have kids coming in from transfer from other schools, which is actually great. We have developed a good rapport with them. Just basically getting everybody to be committed. And like I said, we have a very good core, and I'm very proud to be able to have a freshman team this year. And that just shows that I think that they are developing confidence in themselves, as well as with the returning players, confidence in the team, and hopefully confidence in myself and my coaching staff. That they just want to go out, they want to be competitive, they want to be contenders, and they also want to enjoy the game of volleyball.
Going back to the players, what is it going to take for you guys to be successful this season? Last year, a little bit of a down year for you guys. This year, you want to bounce back and do all the right things and win a few more matches and see how far you can go in the postseason. What's all that going to take?
Well, we're still rebuilding, but I think it's going to be a lot better than just talking. And I don't just consider them as a team. Talking to them about stuff like just to go to volleyball to get your mind off of stuff would also really help, just to show up and play volleyball and get your mind off.
I would say working together and everyone bringing each other up when something like happens, or if we have a bad point, a bad play, everyone bringing each other up and just worrying about the next point. And yeah.
Coach, you got a couple seniors here with you. You mentioned another senior. Talk a little bit about your rotation. Who can we expect to see in there working out, getting some varsity time?
Well, we have, like I said, we with losing Jaden a couple years ago, and with losing a few of our hitters, we did lose a good amount of offense. Our main defense is still here, at least one more year. But with what we have coming up, we have a few girls that are on a swing. They're on both JV, that's to help JV out, as well as keepers in the ball. And they are just developing. So we're looking more with our hitters and offense, and working well with the defense to keep things flowing. And I always say defense wins the game. So as long as we're scrapping and we're talking and we build the confidence of the new hitters, because they are young. And we actually have a freshman that's probably going to be playing on my varsity. So it's just developing their skills, developing their confidence, and playing together as a team unit. We should, like I said, with COVID being out of the way, and we lost a lot of games that I thought we probably would have been in our win bracket. So I'm kind of hoping that COVID will stay back and we'll have a full season. And I do believe we'll definitely double our wins this year, if not past that.
Savannah, you were a second-team all-conference defensive specialist last year. How do you carry that success into this season and build off of that?
I would do the same thing, just a lot better than I did. A lot less drop balls and miss serves, focus on that. And not just focus on myself, but also help out the team around me, just be successful on the team, but also for myself.
And then Aubrey, same thing. You were a second-team libero, so correct?
Yeah. I do not know that, but I
Am I breaking the news? So how do you build off of that success you had last year?
Definitely, I think this year I want to be a lot more confident myself. That's why I've been trying to past players like Jaden. But I'm going to try to take the same thing, just do this better, hopefully. I mean, I think I did good, but I feel like a lot more confident this year. I think. Also being a senior, being helps as well.
One thing I talked to a lot of the players about is legacy and culture and their impact on that. So, Savannah, we'll start with you. Is just you both talked about Jaden and what she meant to you when you were a younger player. How do you hope you impact the younger kids that are on the team now that are watching you play as a senior and looking up to you?
Just to play my best, try my hardest, and be okay playing varsity or even JV, be okay. But my sister also helped me playing on the varsity level. That helped me a lot. So she taught me most of the stuff that we know coming up and being prepared. So we just gotta prepare.
And Aubrey, how do you hope you've impacted a legacy at Brooklyn?
I hope that they see our leadership trying to, and some of them want to take leadership and have so much passion about volleyball, and then means they're very much care about the sport. And so I hope they see that and want to do the same way.
Coach, you guys are one of the newer teams in the Chagrin Valley Conference. How has that impacted your program? Because it's a pretty darn good volleyball conference, and you look at Cuyahoga Heights, Independence, who have made deep runs in the postseason. Luther and West and Trinity have had a lot of success, and now you're seeing those teams, twice a year in conference play. How has that impacted the program, either positively or even negatively?
Not really negatively. I would say more positively because we want to do better. We want to. They give us a reason to fight harder, and we look to them going, okay, we try. I every time we get on the court with any team, we'll try to improve what we did before. Watching films from last year, films from the year before, developing a program where the students or the players also watch the films. I think playing more competitive teams makes us more competitive teams as well. I'd rather play somebody who's going to challenge us than not. I think that will make it better for us playing the teams that will challenge us.
And then last question for you is, what is it going to take in a rebuilding year, the second year of a rebuilding year, what is it going to take to turn the corner and start winning more matches than you lose and find the success you're looking for?
Well, my hope is that the players the numbers continue to rise, and that the players that we have this year will set the example that they might not have ever played volleyball before. That is one of the disadvantages that we have. A lot of the students and players from the other schools, they have kids that play JO and have played CYO volleyball since they've been 10, 11 years old. We have very few players that play JO, as well as that we don't start till 7th grade. So knowing that they can come in at that level and still be competitive against teams like Independence and Cuyahoga Heights and Trinity, I think that they will see that they have a chance. And given that chance, that they can just do better. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. That the more they see the girls playing and the better we get, the more we'll bring players back into the program.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate you making the trip out here from Brooklyn. Best of luck to the Hurricanes this season, and hope to see you on the court soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. Take care. That was the Brooklyn Hurricanes here at 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day. Up next, I believe we have Trinity. They are making their way over to the head table now. Trinity Trojans and head coach Susan Dizzuti. Hope I pronounced that correctly, Coach. All right, Trinity Trojans joining us next here at 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. Coach D, I've pronounced it once, and I think I did it correctly, but I'm going to stick with Coach D from now on. Just too many opportunities for me to make a mistake. I know my limitations. So welcome to the show. I appreciate you guys making the trip out here. Start out, why don't you introduce the girls you brought with you, and then just give us a quick preview of what we can expect out of Trinity this season.
Sure. To my left is Sophia Galick. She's a senior. She is our setter in our right side. She's been on varsity for 3 years now. And she's our captain as well. And to my right is Micaiah Urban. She is a senior. She's been on varsity since a sophomore, and she is my middle. And plays a lot of defense specialists as well. So, and she is also team captain. So, for this season, we expect just to build off of what we did last year, coming off a 19-3 season. We had a very successful season, and we just want to continue to build on that. Improve in certain areas in defense and hitting, but we expect to be very competitive to compete with the big teams and the bigger schools, and we just want to continue the winning tradition that Trinity's had over the past couple of years.
And I will say, streaming the CVC TV game or match of the week last year against Independence, that was such an awesome environment, such a cool place to watch a volleyball match and a basketball game. I've done a couple of those, so I love that upper deck and just the environment. You just feel like you're packed in on the action, so that's pretty cool. That's got to help out on some of those matches getting before COVID, of course. But all right, so this year, Coach, You've got 2 all-conference performers coming back, I believe. Sophia's one, and Amy
McCarthy, yeah.
Amy, so you got a couple of those. You're going to have some new faces in the lineup, some kids that are going to get a little bit more time than they had last year. What's it going to take to put all those pieces together to find success?
Well, I mean, just hard work and communication. This is a team. We have 10 players. We have 7 seniors. So we have a really big squad of 7 girls that are really confident, who have been through the program for the past 4 years, and just give us the consistency, the maturity, and just really using that to our advantage. Each of the players brings something different to the table and or to the court, really, and just kind of building off their strengths and bringing the younger players up with us. And just kind of getting them used to varsity level and the pace of the game. But really, it's going to rely on these 7 seniors that I have. The maturity that they bring to the program is awesome, and that's really going to be really important. We don't get nervous in big games. We're pretty confident in who we are as a program, and they are confident as players. So I think if we put all of that together, we'll continue to have a winning season.
All right, Sophia, I'm going to start with you since you're one of those 2 returning all-conference performers. You're a senior this year, a bigger role. You graduated a few kids, but as Coach said, with 7 seniors, your job as a leader is kind of spread out a little bit. Gives you a little bit more time to focus on your individual goals and how you can contribute to the team. How do you take your success from last year and build upon it this year?
Honestly, working harder on the court and being a support system for everyone on my team, just constantly doing what I have to do and progressing my own skills and just, again, being a leader.
And Micaiah, just knowing there are so many seniors on the team and you guys have that experience and the maturity, from the age standpoint, how does that help going into a new season, just knowing you have so many girls that have experience?
I think honestly having a lot of seniors on our team, it definitely sets a higher role for us because we're so close. So even the younger players, we just help them and get them pumped up and just how we are.
Player question: when you girls look at practices every day and you see your teammates running around, smashing balls on the floor, setting balls, chasing balls down into the corners of the gym, how inspiring is it just to kind of see everybody giving their all and doing what they can to help the team be successful?
It makes me feel proud to get to say I get to lead those people who always are putting in their all, and it's interesting to see how far everyone is coming along, and I just love watching everyone get better.
I feel though it's exciting because everyone has a different role, and to see everybody come together. And me being captain with Sophia, it's we have a different role and we bring everyone together, so everybody know exactly what we want to aim for.
As captains, you guys are going to be on the court. A lot of the things that are going to happen out there, you guys are going to help coach make the calls and do the right thing, make sure everybody's in the right position. How ready are you for that role? I mean, it's a pretty big burden as you also have to be responsible for your own job out on the court.
I would say the last 2 years on varsity, I would have said I wasn't ready, but this year I think I really stepped it up, and now that I am a senior, I'm really understanding that it is my turn to be that leader, and that I think I'm ready for it.
I also agree with Sophia, realizing that it's your last year of high school, you really want to take a stand and try to be a good leader for your team.
You guys had a lot of success last season. Anyone would say, gosh, you're bringing back 7 seniors. The bar is going to be a little bit higher. Are you guys ready for that challenge, and what's it going to take to meet those expectations?
I would say we are. I think what it would take is really hard work and dedication, being committed. Every practice matters, every game matters, every ball that the Zuni pounds at it matters. Everything matters.
That's what I like to hear. Coach pounds the ball, make them work.
I try.
Yeah, I completely agree with Micaiah. I forgot the question.
We're going to move on because she gave a great answer. So here's one for you. You've got 2 senior captains here. You have 7 seniors out there. You have a few other girls on the roster. Who are some of the other girls you guys are going to lean on throughout the season to kind of make things happen? This is your chance to give your teammates a shout out.
Yeah, so we have like an incoming freshman who she's a great player, Ellie Beckler. We could definitely, being a freshman is surprising how like energetic she is coming in, and she's a great asset to the team, and I think everyone can take something from her. And then we also have a transfer who's never played like with us, and I think she's catching along fast and is getting louder every day. And we have a sophomore who was on JV last year, and I think she really like leaves a mark on the team too. And we can lean on all 3 of them.
Micaiah, your shout-outs?
She kind of mentioned all of them. I would definitely say our libero, Grace Russo. With her being libero, she definitely, I think personally, she definitely like to step her position up. Amy McCarthy, as we mentioned before, she's like our loud player. She brings energy. She's like there to pick everybody up, even when she's down. And when she's down, we're there to pick her up.
Coach, they took all the easy questions, so I got to throw a hard one at you. I'm just kidding. This season, just talk a little bit about your approach. I mean, what do you guys try to do when you hit the court?
Well, I mean, our approach really is we've made a decision to really kind of come in, and we're going to be committed to work from beginning to end, whether it's a 2-hour practice to a 2.5-hour practice or even an hour practice, that the moment that we step into the court, that we are just volleyball. Volleyball is our concentration. It is our thing. That every practice and every drill, it has a purpose. And I truly feel if we have that drive and that purpose, that they're going to bring that back out to the court. And so we really made a commitment as a team to really say, okay, we're going to come in and we're going to practice hard for 2 hours, for 60 minutes, whatever it may be. And each time that we do something, or whether it's a correction or we do a skill or whatever, that drill or that skill has purpose. And I think for us, that's important because that's consistency. And we just need, if we can be consistent from beginning to end, we'll be consistent on the court. And I think that'll be the big difference when it comes down to game 5 or it comes down to, a really tough team, that, we're going to bring that, purpose that we do in practice to the court. And I think that's going to be really important and really good for us.
Ladies, this is the key question for you here is, last year you had a lot of success. You want to have success this season, but what are the keys to that, just from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint? What is it going to take what you did last year and do even better this year?
I would say commitment and hard work, and have a heart. I feel like all of us have to have a heart to want to be great, to want to do better than last year. If not that, then at least do good like we did last year.
Yeah, I agree. But I definitely think like every day, every practice, we need to always give it 100%. And then when it comes down to like games, we always have to like be on top of our game and just not get down on ourselves and just have that positive attitude that is one of the reasons we were successful last season. We just need to keep doing that.
Coach, last one for you is when you look in this room with all the great volleyball teams here, the CVC has really developed into a really strong volleyball conference. Adding Trinity, Lutheran West, some of those teams really help strengthen it. How does that kind of impact your team as far as knowing that, we're not going to have a night off? Every night you play a conference team, you're going to be pushed and challenged.
I think for me, it's a good thing. I like competition. I think competition is a wonderful thing because it really brings out the best players in my perspective. And I like to play teams that are competitive, whether you win or lose, but if you go out there and you're playing your best game and you're putting your best lineup out there and the girls are getting 110%, you can't ask for anything more. And so for us to play in a conference where you're going to get challenged, whether it's independent, split foot, Cardinal, I know they're crossover games for us, but you look forward to those games because you know that you can compete with those teams. And I like to be able to compete. I'd rather compete than, have a throwaway. And we don't really have that in this conference. And that just then puts pressure on us, but also excitement to get ready for those games. And that makes practice even more exciting because okay, you have independence and we need to really work on this. And that makes that practice even more important and more exciting, and the girls give more. So, for us to be in the CVC and to have these teams, like I said, like an Independence or a Wycliffe or a Cardinal, is good for us, and I like that. And I think the girls too. I think girls thrive on competition, and they like those type of things. And the girls that I have, the 10 players that I have, they want that, and I think they'll rise to those challenges. Win or lose, however, I know that they'll be ready to compete with any team out there.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate you ladies making the trip out here. Best of luck. I do plan to be back in your gym this year. I just love that place. So looking forward to catching some action out there. But thank you guys for making the trip, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much for having us.
Sure thing. That was the 2021 Trinity Trojans here at the CVC Volleyball Media Day live at Chagrin Falls High School. Up next, I believe, is going to be the Lutheran West Longhorns. Give them a minute to get up here to the hot table. Oh, we got a whole gang of them. You guys are going to have to pull some chairs over and just kind of make sure you're in the black.
All right.
Otherwise, I will not see you. Or actually, I'll see you, but the folks at home won't see. Oh, we got a couple sitting over on the sidelines. That's cheating. Okay, I'm not even going to try it, but I am just going to call her Coach Laura T. So Coach T, welcome to the show. I appreciate you ladies making the trip. Go ahead and pronounce your name just so I can hear it at least once.
Laura T.
Yeah, Coach T it is.
That's how most people call me.
I assume so, but thanks again for. I have a one-syllable name, so I'm good with that. And going to 2 syllables challenges me, but your name, I'm sorry, Laura, Coach T is going to do it for me. But go ahead and introduce the ladies that you brought with you, and then just kind of give us a quick overview of what we can expect out of the Longhorns.
All right. Well, I brought our senior, Ariane Esposito, and Sophia Simon, and Morgan Morley. And I think these are our 3 top players this year. And I'm super excited to have them and see what they can do for us this year.
Okay, let's start. We'll go start at the left. That's Morgan, correct? Morgan, you were all conference last season, is what I'm looking at. Defensive specialist, second team?
Yes.
All right, so taking that success that you had last season, how did you get better, and how do you kind of plan to use that success to get even better this year?
So I plan on using this to just continue pushing myself to make that first team, obviously, and I want to continue making it throughout my high school experiences and seasons. And I also want to use my JO experiences to help me push during that high school.
Yeah, we'll slide right on over there. That is Adriana. Ariana, I'm sorry, and you're a senior.
Yeah.
So looking at senior year, obviously you want to go out with a bang. How are you approaching this season? Are you doing anything differently, or just mentally how are you taking the season?
I think a big thing that I live by is always giving 100%, and work ethic is so important. And I think that's the big thing. Everybody just works hard to really make it fun and big things. And just let everybody know that I work this hard.
And Sophia, and you're a junior? Sophomore. Oh, you're a young one, so that's good. So coming up here at Media Day as a sophomore, a little nervous, are you?
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. Everyone's been a little nervous, but they've all done pretty well. So as a sophomore approaching this season, you've got some talent, some experience around you. How does that help you kind of just blend in and go out there and do your thing?
I like using the talent around me and seeing people who are better than me, seeing what they can do to get better, and just being influenced by people who have more experience to learn more and get better with each contest.
Whoever wants to take this one, 14 wins last season, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. So you want to sustain that success, do a little bit better this year. What is it going to take?
Of course, we want to do better, and I think, just like I said before, hard work, cohesiveness in the team is really going to help. And I think this year we're more of a team than last year, and we all play together more, so that's really going to help us take the lead on some of these teams that we did for.
Morgan, let's talk some defense, since you're the defensive specialist. Obviously, you're a big part of that defense. Who else fills in and handles all those digs and chasing the ball into the corner and doing all the dirty work?
So actually, our libero was a senior last year, so she left, and I was a freshman. So now I'm a sophomore taking over that role, which is like big shoes to fill, but I think I got it handled. And we actually have a new freshman, we call her Baby Ari. She's like a miniature version of her, and she's also the DS with me. And so I think we're going to work really well in the background.
Coach, you got to love hearing a sophomore say, I got it. Good.
Absolutely.
So what is the makeup of your team? You got one senior and two sophomores here at Media Day. What class-wise, how do you have it set up?
I have 5 seniors right now, and all of them are going to contribute to our team. We've got just one junior, right? One junior, and then we've got a good group of sophomores that I'm lucky up and coming, and that one freshman on our team. So we are young, but I have utmost faith in all of these girls that we're going to go out there and do some pretty big things this year.
With that pretty big senior class relative to a lot of other teams in the area, and then you've got a big sophomore class, so you need those two to kind of scratch each other's back. How's that working out? Have the seniors embraced that role as leaders?
Absolutely. Our seniors definitely are setting the tone for how hard we're going to work in practice. They get on the girls a lot about lifting and everything, and it's amazing how much of a team they've become so quickly. And it's just a great thing to be a part of.
Ari, as one of those seniors, do you see that same thing from the sophomore class? Have they kind of taken to the leadership the seniors have provided?
Yeah, most definitely. They're very comfortable with us, so it makes it a lot better. And they aren't scared to talk to us. So it's just
I hope they're not afraid to talk to you. Sophia, as a sophomore, one of those kids, and you're going to have this big senior class that's going to leave. One junior, so as a junior, you're going to have to step up and play that leadership role. What are you learning from the seniors that you're kind of taking in and implementing into your game and your approach to playing?
I think the seniors are setting really good examples on how to be leaders because they're all just giving us constant reminders with stuff like lifting and just working harder and being better. And they're really good at, when teams, could do better, they know what to say and, they're always just being good leaders.
Whoever wants to take this one, what's the strength of Lutheran West this year? When teams scout you, what are they going to see?
I think when teams see us, they're just going to see, we put our heart and soul into everything that we do. And Morgan's not going to let a ball drop. Nobody's going to let a ball drop. And we're going to give it our all. We're not going to play timid. We're going to go out there and just want to win and play aggressive. And we aren't going to let the fear of losing or, doing something wrong hold us back from what our potential is.
I'm going to stick with you because you're the senior. The sophomores haven't known anything but the CVC. You played in another conference before the CVC. How different has it been?
So, it hasn't really been too different.
Not at all, competition-wise, intensity.
There's more competition in this one than the last one.
Okay. Coach, when you look at all the pieces that you have coming together in the preseason, how satisfied are you with their development thus far?
I have been pleasantly surprised with all the pieces that have fallen into place. I think we have amazing talent, and I think that we have many girls that can play many positions and can help us out in various spots. They may not help us out in the same spot in every single game, and I think that's one thing that's going to keep some teams on their toes because they don't know where we're going to come from.
What have been some of the challenges you faced this preseason compared to others, and how have you addressed them?
My starting setter showed up on Thursday with a boot on, and we had a scrimmage on Friday. So I had my libero step up inside and played phenomenal.
Well, they do say liberos are supposed to be like the best players on the court, right? They need to know everything. Morgan, how did you kind of adapt to that situation? You get thrown into the fire as the starting setter.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season when trials were over, she did tell me that sometimes I would have to step up and take that position over. So I was mentally prepared to do that. But I was very, I was in it, but also kind of nervous to play in that position for the first time during the game, play. And just like seeing the passing back there and like not being able to pass with them was like kind of sad. But like also like I was able to like assist the hitters and like tell them like where like if they need to set off or something. So I was able to communicate with my players a lot more.
Sophia, as a hitter, when you lose your setter, that's kind of like losing your starting quarterback, and then players have to adapt around that. How did you and your teammates that are waiting for this set? How did you guys kind of adapt to Morgan stepping into that role? And is that something that you guys can build off of, knowing that hey, we can take any adversity thrown our way and still run with it?
So we just had to make sure that like communication was there, and like because with like as a middle, it's pretty hard to get like perfect sets right away because of like the speed and everything. So just like when we were warming up and everything, talking about like the right height and the right speed so that we were ready for the game.
All right, going back to you as the senior at the table. It's your last year. Next year, people are going to remember you. What do you want them to remember about you? What's the legacy you're going to leave behind?
I would like just to remember that hard work does pay off. I keep going back to this hard work thing, but it's something that I really am like big on. Like whatever you do, you should do it with all your heart, because then it transitions to everything. Like if I do one thing with all my heart, I'm going to do everything else with all my heart. And I just feel like we should always be like that.
Excellent. Coach, before I let you guys run, everybody measures success differently, and there are quantitative ways to measure it in wins and losses, titles won. How do you measure success this season?
Well, obviously we want to win, and that's our job, is to go out there and we're going to win. But I also want us to be the best team that we can be. I want each and every one of us to work for someone else. I want us to be a team. That's what's important. And people may not be in the roles that they want to be in necessarily, but they're willing to do whatever is best for the team. And I think that's what's important. And I think that I'm lucky with the 10 girls that I have on varsity, because they're willing to do whatever is best for the team. And that's why we're going to be successful this year.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate all of you ladies making the trip. It was nice to see you. One of the teams I didn't get to see last year, so you're definitely on my schedule this year, so I will be out. Good luck to you this season. And again, thanks for coming out and joining us on Media Day.
Thank you.
That was the 2021 Lutheran West Longhorns here at CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. Up next, we have this little team out of Independence. You might have heard of them. They've had a couple of good years, one or two in there. A second to throw their graphic on. All right, so we've got the Independence Blue Devils. Sans their coach. Coach Messina couldn't be with us tonight, so we've got a couple of JV players, right? Abby wants to punch me. So, all right, so we're going to start on the left. That's Abby Avila, Callie Prokopias, Hannah Wilson, and Macy McNamara. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
All right, so I finally got it right. I like to call her McNamara, but no problem there. All right, so ladies, I don't know who's going to take charge out there. I think you guys are all pretty aggressive personalities, so this might be a little fight at the table. Who wants to give us a little bit of an overview of what we can expect from the Blue Devils this season?
Well, we can definitely expect us going back to states. We always work hard in practice, so definitely want to make it back to states. We have a tough schedule this year, so we love facing hard teams, so we're excited.
Do you guys start to feel any pressure? Winning a district title, you go to regionals, and that's exciting. Then you get past regionals, and you get to state. And then the next year, you're like, oh, I think we want to go back. That was fun. Well, now you've been there several years in a row. Do you feel that? All four are seniors, right?
Yeah.
You guys haven't known any different. To you, it's like T-ball. Everyone gets a trophy. It's like, oh, wait, we're going to state again. So, do you start to feel that pressure? Is it built up a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I just think, looking back, when I was freshman, I felt I was so nervous being there at states, and now it's just everyone, that's what is expected of us, to make it back there, and just kind of pressure the whole season, and because everyone's just leading up to that, but we like to
just not think ahead and just take it one game at a time.
Hannah, I know this has been the longest off season of your life. Not really though, because you played some JO, so you actually had some volleyball. But a knee injury kept you out of the season last year. I mean, I know how it felt to not be there, but you were there cheering on your teammates. You did everything you could from that sideline chair. How cool was that experience? And then just really, how much cooler is it that you're back and playing with them this year?
Yeah, it was definitely weird for me to not be out there, but I just was happy I could be with them the whole time and be able to go to practices and all the games, cheer them on. Like, obviously wanted to be out there, but we made it back to state, and I wanted us to win as much as, obviously, like, as every year in the past. It was exciting. We got even closer than the past. Another 5-setter. We were almost there, but I was one that was ready to be out there on the court, like run out if we won. I was ready to go.
Macy, you've been a part of the program for many years. You saw the great players going back. There was the Collinses and Procopius, and just the list goes on and on. What did you learn from that group when you were a younger player that you're now throwing into your approach when you practice and play?
I definitely learned the more vocal aspect and like how to cheer my team on and how to be a leader on the court. And I definitely also learned how to be more aggressive, to go after the ball and, put my team in the best position that I could to help them score.
And I'm going to stick with you because I'm too lazy to move the camera again, but Independence has great hitters. You're sitting next to a couple of them, a great setter on the end, but Grace Smotek. Going back years, just hitter after hitter after hitter. But defense has really been a key element to Independence's success. And the way you play, running through walls and chasing balls down into the bleachers and all that kind of epitomizes a style. What drives you to do all of that?
It's definitely my teammates that make me want to do all of that and to put them where they can score and we can go as far as we need to and we can win those big games. Because, we're not the tallest on the court, so, if I can get them in a good spot to score, then that's all I ask.
When you talk about tall, I remember those Liberty Benton, I don't know what you call them, goalposts. And when I got to that state championship game, and I'm looking there as they're warming up, I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well. And you guys just found a way to do it. I mean, you don't have enormous size, but you have, like Callie, you jump out of the gym. I mean, when I saw you jump the first time, I don't know where it came from, but you've developed that over years, and so when you look at like your senior class, and I think there's a couple more of them, right? They're not all here, but the legacy that's kind of being passed down, what do you guys hope to leave behind? We'll start with Abby and just kind of go through and talk about the legacy and what it meant to you, and now you're a senior and you're going to leave it behind for somebody else.
Definitely like working hard every single practice, like every rep counts. So like just being in the gym, like being vocal, and like what I've learned like from past players is like being a leader, like it helps. Like we were all scared freshman year, like walking in the state, so like just helping each other out is the best.
Is your grandpa at home watching?
Probably.
Hi, Ed. All right, go ahead, Callie.
I agree with what Abby said. Like our team chemistry, like just working hard every single day of practice and even off the court, like getting along with our teammates really helps us. And I think this year it's only like 1 month into the season and we've really got along really well, even better than past years. So yeah, I mean, like Kelly said, like our team chemistry, like even we have some younger players on the team, but I think we've all been very like welcoming and showing them like doesn't matter how young you are, like you're on the court, we're all the same. Like we're all working together to reach the same goal. Like, we want them once we leave to continue on how we've been doing the past few years. So we want them to be able to lead the future players how we have the past few years.
Yeah, really what everyone else said, just trying to be that role model that they can follow and show like what they can do following in our footsteps.
You guys graduated a couple key pieces, Grace and Madison, who I don't want to say she came out of nowhere to have the senior year she did, but she had a kind of a quiet freshman, sophomore, junior season. Basketball, a different story, but on the volleyball court, she was just okay. She's a great middle blocker, but then last year she just kind of blew up. Who's going to fill that role this year? Who's going to have the enormous senior season?
So I think this year, our whole team is kind of like a big star together. I don't think it's really like one player. Like we have younger people that has stepped up to fill those positions that we lost to seniors, like Aubrey Andrews, Sophie Smotek. They know what they're doing, and they walked in and they knew their job. So I think it's just the spot's been filled pretty good.
I know every team sets goals, and I'm sure one of your goals is to win the CVC again, districts, regionals, get the state, maybe, and I'm just kind of guessing, you probably want to take care of some unfinished business. But just individually, talk about your goals as seniors. We already talked about legacy, so not so much about what you're leaving behind, but what do you hope to accomplish individually this year?
I definitely hope to accomplish working hard, just being there. I just want to have the most fun this year. It's my last season with these people, so I want to make it count. It's fun to have memories.
Yeah, I kind of just want to leave it all on the court. This is my last season ever playing volleyball, so it's done after this. So I kind of just want to do my best the whole season and have fun with my team. I really want to take advantage of this year's team. I didn't get to play last year, but I'm just really want everyone to just have fun. Honestly, obviously we want to win states, but if we all are not having fun, then it's not worth it. But I think we have a good chance. We all work hard at practice, have fun, get along. I think we can do it.
Yeah, I just want to make the most out of my last year at high school and, try to accomplish that unfinished business that we've been going to try to win for 3 years now. So, yeah.
Before I let you guys go, Callie, last year you switched positions early in the year, right?
Yeah, I did. I played libero for a hot second there, and then I went to hitter.
And you're staying a hitter? I think the success kind of dictated that, yeah.
I just think when I was libero, it was what we needed for them, and then I got hurt, and then we just kind of I don't know, something just wasn't working right, and then I just feel like we needed method hitting, not to be.
But you're supposed to be. It's self-awareness. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys making the trip out here. It's good to see you. I will see you out on the court shortly. But thanks for making the trip, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
That was the 2021 Independence Blue Devils here at CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. Wrapping up the Metro Division is going to be the Cuyahoga Heights Redskins. I did not plan this rivalry to go back-to-back like that, so purely coincidental. So Cuyahoga Heights back with 3 all-conference performers from last season. Coach Kelsey Mason. Coach, welcome. I appreciate all of you ladies making the trip out here. Give us a quick introduction of the ladies you brought with you, and then a quick overview of what we can expect out of the Redskins this year.
Okay. This is Mia Spicer to my left. She's a senior middle hitter. And then I have Julia Barzalauskas to my right, and she is a junior setter on right side. This year, out of our team, we're a little bit on the younger side, so we're looking to kind of just build, have senior leadership, and looking for a lot of big things out of our girls.
You have those 3 returning all-conference performers. Obviously, that's going to form the core of your team. How do you fit all the other pieces in together and just kind of use the strengths that those girls have to trickle down to the rest of the team?
Yeah, definitely. So we're super excited to have those 3 returning players and having their leadership kind of take over. We have 2 freshmen that are on varsity this year, and that's just such a big jump from 8th grade to varsity. So the goal is to have our 3 returning players provide those leadership roles. And one of our big stresses that we've started this season is just kind of holding each other accountable and giving each other positive feedback and that constructive criticism to make ourselves better as a program and accept the fact that we're young and we're learning and there's always room for improvement. And I think our 3 returning players are taking that role head on, and they're really being a good role model for our younger players.
Mia, basketball player too, right?
Yep.
I remember her name, and I saw you guys play not last season, the year before, so I do remember you. But as a senior leader, you've got some new players to invite onto the team and get them to gel and play their role. How, as a senior leader, how are you handling that role, and what kind of tactics do you use?
So I think the best thing to get everyone comfortable is just to make sure that you're giving them good feedback and just making sure they're accountable and just making sure they're having fun.
And Julia, when you look at the team this year, what do you see as strengths?
I would say that some of our strengths are that we never get down on each other. We're a very positive team, and we are just as a whole team. I would say that we're just always positive. A couple years, sometimes girls are just not the best with each other, but this year we have a good bond going, and it's going really great.
Cuyahoga Heights has a phenomenal small school athletic program, going to basketball, football, volleyball has had its run. Softball just played in the state championship for a second time in 7 or 8 years. So, and it's multi-sport athletes. How much does that play a factor into what you guys can do and the success you hope to have? I mean, just being a part of such a, I don't want to say historic, but a prestigious athletic program.
I think there's a lot of high standards that come with that, but I think we all just want to have a good time, and we all just come together and we play as hard as we can, and we learn from everything that we do, and it's always just a good time.
I think also one of the positives of being a smaller school is that our volleyball team is not necessarily just all volleyball-specific players. We have athletes who might play 3 sports, and that allows us to kind of come together with different skills and different talents that blend, rather than just we don't have girls that play club all year long, and we have girls who are awesome basketball players but provide great volleyball talent as well. So it's cool to kind of have that mesh. And being such a small school, you're able to support your other sports teams, and there's just kind of a deeper connection to all of that.
Coach, kind of talk through your rotation a little bit. I mean, obviously we have your 2 seniors here. Who else can we expect to see out there and working into that rotation and making things happen?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of a smaller team this year. We're carrying 9 on varsity. We have running a 6-2 offense with our junior setter and then also a sophomore setter. We have 2 senior middle hitters. We have a senior outside and a freshman outside. We have a senior libero and then a sophomore and a freshman DS player. So definitely kind of different experience on varsity and JV. And then, like I said, with those 2 freshmen coming up, they've made a great transition, and the girls have been welcoming them in with open arms. So we'll keep building with that rotation.
Julia, Mia, whoever wants to handle this one, running 9 with a varsity. That's pretty small lineup. Most teams are running 12. A couple of them talked about carrying 15. Most of them are going to play JV, but they'll see some varsity. How does that impact the way you guys approach the game? I mean, you're not going to get as many breaks through that rotation as you might have if you were carrying a few more, but does that impact anything, or does it even kind of help you a little bit?
I mean, I think it's just it's once you start a momentum, it's just easier to build off of that. So when there's only a certain amount of us, it's just easier to build off of each other and just keep grinding through it.
Personally, I play all the way around. I don't get to sit on the bench at all, so it's
So what you're saying is me as a slacker.
No. Yeah, it's just, it can get pretty tiring, but I feel personally I'm kind of a spark plug on the court. I try to keep everyone positive. I try to keep everyone just going and super energetic, and I try to just keep that out there on the court.
Coach, through the preseason, obviously with 9 players, you've got to stay healthy. That's the number one key. But some of the other challenges you're going to face throughout the year, what have you seen already in the preseason, and how have you kind of overcome those moments of adversity?
Yeah, so this is my first season as head coach, so I'm kind of stepping into a newer role. I coached JV last year, so I got to know some of the girls, but then just kind of coming into this varsity season, my whole goal was kind of just structure and trying to work around that. So this summer we worked on a more scheduled conditioning practice and getting the girls in for open gym and getting them touches on the ball before August 1st came around. We started a camp through an outside program this year, and I think that was a great experience for the girls. They got to get yelled at by somebody other than me for once, and I think they learned a lot. It helped us kind of mesh as a program. And then as far as like being a little bit on the more shallow side for our numbers this year for varsity, we have a lot of talent at JV that I can always snag up if we needed to. We just kind of wanted to kind of keep a strong core and work around that, and then our JV coach is working to prep our JV players, and if something does happen that we're not expecting, we can fill those spots and keep moving forward.
Julia, Mia, again, whoever wants to handle this one. Coaching changes can be tough. You're learning new systems, things like that, but having Kelsey come through the JV program, there was some familiarity with the players that she was going to coach, and then also, she knew who you guys were and you knew who she was. How much did that help the transition a little bit?
Well, honestly, she's a wonderful coach. Like, even last year, like, she was out there running drills, like, just being the JV coach, she was just leading everything. And I think she has a good amount of coaching experience, and she also has that, like, the experience of actually, like, playing a lot and playing club, and she coaches club, and I think she's amazing. She's, like, my favorite.
Is that a $20 bill she just handed you?
So my mom actually was a head coach before Kelsey. So, I mean, even just, like, her kind of, like, taking a step down and then Kelsey kind of taking a step up, she just knows what she's talking about, and she just knows the game so well. So she's helped tremendously with all of us.
Mia, I'm going to stick with you since you're the senior. Last year, high school volleyball, you're going to walk away and graduate and do great things, I'm sure. But when you look back on your volleyball career and other kids that are following you, what do you want them to know about you and remember about you?
I just want them to, like, remember, like, that no matter, like, how hard everything gets, that, like, you need to, like, find a way in yourself to, like, bring everything back together, and just to be a leader and just do everything that you possibly can, no matter what your skills are, to just kind of do your role on the team and bring everyone together.
And Julia, for you, since you've got this year and another year, what kind of goals did you set for yourself this year? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, I definitely want to keep my streak going of being a very positive player, and I have a different position this year, which I've played before, but it's definitely new being on varsity and having to set instead of hit. It's a pretty big role on and off of the court. But one of my main goals was to better myself, like, with my setting talents, because I think I just want to get better for my team and for my hitters, and I think it would really help if I was just a little better at setting.
And Coach, last one for you is just measuring success. Everybody can look at wins and losses and say it was a successful year. That's not always the case when you're, especially in a coaching change, when you have that transition, you have some younger players. How are you going to measure success this year?
Yeah, I think, so we obviously have a pretty tough conference. We play a lot of talented teams. So my kind of message to the girls this season is just, like, continue to control what we can on our side, and that's how we're going to measure success. Whether we win or lose, if we're controlling and playing the best game we can on our half of the court, then I'm proud of them, and we'll do good things, and the wins will come. Just having them work hard and giving that all they got and picking each other up when they need to, and not getting down if they make a mistake. So I'm going to measure their success based on how the 9 of them interact with each other and how they do what they're out on the court. So we talked a lot about this year about making Heights volleyball something you can be proud of. So I want my seniors to go out this year being like, yes, this is exactly how I wanted to end my senior year. I want my juniors looking forward to next year, and I want my middle school program excited to come up to the high school. So that's kind of my goal, is our success is going to be ending the season having a good time and looking forward to building a future.
Well, it wasn't that long ago that Heights was a powerhouse, so I wish you all luck this year. Glad you can make the trip, and good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you
so much.
Thank you. That was the 2021 Cuyahoga Heights Redskins closing out the Metro Division portion of our CVC Volleyball Media Day live from Chagrin Falls. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to close out the show tonight with the Valley Division. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Ohio's Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. I'm Steve Hare with the CVC Sports Information Director. And kicking off the Valley Division portion of our event is the Berkshire Badgers, Coach Joni Protz. Coach, appreciate you making the trip. Let's go ahead and start by introducing the players you brought with you, and then just kind of give us a brief overview of what we can expect out of Berkshire this year.
Hi. First of all, thanks for having us. This year I brought with us Ariel Walters. She's a senior and one of our captains. And then Maddie Trisket, who is a junior and also one of our captains. We have experience coming back this year, so we're looking to build on things that we did last year. We did lose a couple girls that provided our leadership, so that's one thing that we're working on. These two have definitely taken on that role, and their teammates feel like they've taken on that role, so we're looking for that kind of leadership from these two. As a group, we have some kids coming back in key positions that I think will settle some things down, and then we've got obviously some newcomers in other places, so we're getting them up to speed, and I think as long as they can not score points for the other team, we're going to do all right.
That's a pretty good coaching strategy. Girls don't score for the other team. That's good.
How many times I say it.
Ariel, I'm going to start with you since you're the senior captain at the table, but you were on the varsity squad last year, kind of cut your teeth a little bit, got the experience. This year you're going to play a much bigger role. How ready are you for that challenge?
I'm ready to just step up and actually get a lot of playing time and hopefully do well for my team and just do well in the back row.
Maddie, it's hard to believe you're only a junior because it feels like I've covered you now for like 28 years because you play every sport and you've been on varsity and I think started on all of them too. So you've had a pretty phenomenal high school career already and you still have 2 years left. But going into this junior year, being named a captain, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me to be able to just know that my teammates and my coaches all trust me to be there to lead our team and to pick up the energy whenever we really need it. And I just feel confident in everyone and that we're going to make this year a great one and do the best we can.
Coach, going back to you, you lost, I think, just 2 seniors, right?
We had 5.
Oh, yeah, okay, but 2 senior starters. Okay, and so and you talk about Molly Chapman that played for 4 years, Delaney Tusick that played for 4 years, so they weren't just seniors, they were like well-seasoned seniors that, you know, every coach dreams about having on their squad. So obviously some big shoes to fill. You're not just going to replace them, but how do you kind of fill that gap and the production that they contributed over the 4 years?
Molly and Delaney, definitely the leadership was provided just, you know, in terms of their personalities. I also think they brought a competitiveness to the floor and a knowledge of the game. So again, little things like that. These 2 are starting to take on that role, and I think we're going to need other people. Like you said, we don't really replace those 2, but I do feel like we have people that will start to fill those roles. We probably are going to have a more balanced offense this year. We kind of relied on Molly a lot, and then Manny Smetana was a freshman last year and was second in kills. So, we're looking for her to step up, but I do think she's going to need help, and we're going to have to get offense from everybody instead of just, a Molly when we need it. So that's going to be something that this group really has to focus on and work on, and I think that's going to be a good thing that they have to work as a team and, figure it out as a group.
Maddie, Coach just emphasized offense, and as the setter, you're kind of the quarterback of that offense. So you've got a huge burden. How are you embracing that role, and how are your teammates on that offensive side, all your hitters up there? How are you guys coming together and gelling?
Well, we've been working on just a lot of different things and how to keep the ball in play. And so learning together, once we perfect that offense, we can start to do some more fun things that will help us score points. Our biggest goal is to just keep the ball in play and to try and put the ball away whenever we can. And I feel like as the setter, I'm trying to help us get the ball to land, score that point. So.
Ariel, we've talked offense, now let's talk some defense. You're going to play a big role in that, and I know after watching Coach for 17 years you've been, wow, yeah. So defense has always been a crucial element of Berkshire's game. How important is it to you to go out there and live up to those expectations?
I think that you need defense to run the play. So me and Madison in the back row, having us back there this year, we really just have to put the ball and get it to the setter so that we can run plays and do what we need to do. So yeah.
Coach, talk a little bit about how you're going to approach this season. You've got some big shoes to fill. You've got some newer players that come in. How do you adapt to that situation where you don't have, going back to the day, you had so many vicious hitters, and now you're coming in and they're juniors and sophomores, so you've got to adapt your coaching strategy a little bit. How have you done that?
You have to be aware of the fact that they're going to make mistakes, and I have to kind of keep emphasizing to them. You have to keep trying, and practice is where you learn those. So some of our scrimmages we've done well, and then we've had our moments. So they have to get used to the idea that you're not going to be perfect, and for some of them they want to be, which isn't a bad thing, but kind of adds pressure to them. So as a coach, I have to keep reminding them that that's not going to happen, and that they just have to be open to trying new things. And Maddie and Sammy as the setters, having conversations with them about certain
certain moments in a match and, who should get the ball. But like I said, we're definitely going to have to be a more balanced offense this year, which I think makes us better because the other side's not going to necessarily know where the ball is going to go all the time. So, when you can not be one-dimensional or two-dimensional and you can have weapons in more spots, that's going to help us. So that's part of my job this year is to kind of make that happen and get the younger players and the less experienced players okay with the idea of trying new things. So that's what we've tried to emphasize so far, at least in the preseason. So we're getting there.
Ariel, Maddie, 2 years ago, Ariel, you were a sophomore. Maddie, you were a freshman. Berkshire wins a district title, goes down, plays in the Purple Gym at Barberton in a regional. How cool was that experience? And now you've got an opportunity to return there. And how much did that inspire you to push yourself this year?
I think that watching those girls was very inspiring to all of us. So we want to do that, and it's just a big goal for all of us because everyone wants to make it that far. So I think just being able to watch those girls and watch them graduate and then come back to help us practice is a very good goal for all of us.
I agree with what Ariel said. We just want to capitalize on trying to get better every day and to build up to that point. We want to be able to be that team that they were to get to that point and even further. So we're going to keep trying everything we can to get there.
Non-volleyball question. What's your favorite sport? Since you play them all.
I love all of them. So it depends on the season.
So basketball media day, you're going to say you love all of them still, and then softball media day, you'll say you love all of them?
It's like when it's volleyball season, you love volleyball season. And then when it's basketball season, you love basketball. It's like that.
All right. And Ariel, I'm going to go with you. Last question for you. Since you're the senior at the table, Berkshire's got a long history of success in volleyball, legacy, culture. How are you contributing to that, and what do you hope people remember about you?
I hope that I just can do well for my team this year and hopefully get a lot of good passes and have good service points this year. So mostly just back row, keep a good moment there.
And Maddie, going to you, talk about your individual goals this year and then what you hope your team can accomplish.
Well, an individual goal, I just want to be a leader. Since we lost those big pieces last year, like Delaney and Molly, their leadership was outstanding, and I just want to step into that role and be able to help our team stay up when we need it and to be a leader. And then for a team goal, I hope we can get that CVC title. We all say it every year, and we really want it. And I think this year is the year that we could really reach that. And I just hope we keep progressing every game and get better.
Coach, going back to you, you look at this CVC Valley division. Over the years, it was always Berkshire and Cardinal. Berkshire and Cardinal. It was going to be Berkshire or Cardinal. Kirtland had one year, I think it was 2012, where they snuck in there and won it, and then they won it last year, but it still was always Berkshire Cardinal. Grand Valley joins the league. They won it a couple years ago, or 3 years ago, or whatever it was. I can't remember. I'm getting too old. But so that division has just gotten tougher and tougher, deeper and deeper, more competitive. How has that impacted the program, and how do you guys address that, oh my gosh, you can't take a night off. You got to be ready to play every night?
I think it's good for us as a program and obviously for the league that, every night you have to walk in and be competitive. There were some years in the past where there wasn't a lot of competition, besides that rivalry game with Cardinal,
right.
Which it didn't really matter, what team was up, what team was down. That game is always a game. But it definitely makes you have to keep your focus and understand that you have to walk in the gym ready to play. No one's just going to stop playing because you're Berkshire or whoever. It's just that thing. I'm a big Duke basketball fan, and Coach K always says people bring their A game just because of the name on your jerseys. I think that's good that our division has gotten to a point where that's everybody. It's not just certain teams that have that competitiveness and so forth, and you have to walk in the gym ready to play every day, or you might not walk out the winner.
And I lied. I got one more for you. So this year, you've got a little bit of turnover. You got some good young players, some good experienced players. How are you going to measure success? Everyone wants to win that state title, and not too many people use that as the measuring point. But how do you measure success this year?
I feel like this team can do, even with the losses that we had in personnel, I do feel like this group can achieve more than last year, and not even just in a record sense, because, trying to make our schedule competitive to lead us to tournaments so that we're ready to play those. But I do feel that, going further in the tournament would be kind of one piece of success for us. But I think just watching this group grow and develop, and we do have only 2 seniors, so filling their roles, there's not as many places to fill next year. So seeing some of the younger kids grow in terms of leadership, grow in terms of ability, and to see that, then if we can achieve those things this year, then that'll be a success.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate you making the trip out here. It's a long drive, I know personally, since I just came from there. But good luck to you guys this season. I will see you on the court.
Thank you again for having us.
Thanks. That was the Berkshire Badgers here at the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day. Up next is going to be the Cardinal Huskies. And then I believe after that we're going to go to Grand Valley. And I'm not sure if Kirtland and Wycliffe have arrived yet, but that will close out our evening here at Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls High School. So up next will be the Cardinal Huskies, just waiting on them to take the hot seat. Here comes the gang. Assistant Coach Kate Hess stepping in for Carissa Chambers. I think in talking to the girls before, I think they're going to take a vote and elect Kate Hess as the head coach to take Carissa's place. I'm sure she's listening or watching, so I'm saying that for her benefit. That's really not going to happen, but it could. Right, Haley?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good, Haley. Your coach is watching. All right, Coach Hess, thank you guys for making the trip out here. Let's start out, introduce the girls you brought along with you, and then kind of give us a little overview of the Cardinal Huskies this season.
Sure. Thank you again for having us. Next to me, we have Grace Whitney, senior defensive specialist. And then to her right is senior Haley Doman, our setter. We have a very good season ahead of us. We have a group of 10 seniors, 6 which have started varsity since their sophomore year. We're really excited that we have that experience on the team, and just look forward to a competitive schedule that we have set up. We have a good group of underclassmen that work hard, and they have a great example, and big shoes to fill in the future, but working together, they really are hard workers, and we look forward to the season ahead of us.
10 seniors on a volleyball team. That's ridiculous. That's impressive. I mean, talking to you guys are now like the 18th team I've interviewed in the last 5 hours or 4 hours, and most of them are like, well, we've got 2 seniors or 3 seniors. I think the most was 6 or 7, 10. That's impressive. And on that note, I'm going to start over there with Haley Doman, not the tallest girl in the gym, but she certainly makes up for it with effort, and she's done that in the 4 years that I've covered her, and I don't know, 16 or 17 different varsity seasons. How many sports do you even play? You play a whole bunch. Yeah, so 4 sports in a 3-sport season, and you've started on every team that you've played on for 4 years. So that's quite an impressive career already. But going into the senior year, you know that last year it was Kirtland, the year before it was Grand Valley, the year before it was Berkshire, and so whose turn is it, and how excited are you for that opportunity?
I definitely think our biggest bet is probably Kirtland this year, but we'll get there. It's always a run for our money. We all try hard at all times. I don't know.
Woman, a few words.
Yeah.
Going into your senior year, and I mean, I remember your first game as your first match as a freshman, and here you are. It's the last one. Has that hit you yet that this is it?
It definitely has. I was definitely thinking about it the other day when we had our first practice, and it's basically our first or last one for everything that I do this year. So it's definitely sad, but.
Grace, going to you, there aren't many teams that have that many seniors on a roster. How different does that make it at practice? I mean, when a lot of times you've got a whole bunch of freshmen, a whole bunch of sophomores that are just learning how to practice, you guys have seniors that have been doing it for 7th and 8th grade all the way up to high school. 5 years now, or 6 years that they've done this and they've practiced and learned the right way to do it. Has it changed the way you guys practice?
No, I kind of think it's helped. Like the chemistry we've had, like all 10 of us have pretty much played volleyball, like rec league all the way up till now, and we kind of like take the underclassmen and everyone that comes up like under our wing, and we try to help them and like be the best leaders that we can, so they can be better leaders like when they're in our shoes later on.
I know Coach Chambers is a pretty intense coach. She likes to win. She's competitive. Does that filter down to you guys? Do you feed off of that?
Yeah, I'd say so. Usually, sometimes she can be pretty tough on us, like if we're like goofing off or whatever, but at the end of the day, we honestly do take it like seriously, and we try to take what all the coaches say and use it so we can be better for the season.
Coach Hess, let's go back to you and let's hear about some of these seniors. I know a few of them that are going to be lined up there, that Carolyn Rakowski's back, Lindsay Hiss, a few others. Oh my gosh, help me here. They're all there. I know them. Lauren Soltis.
Lorelai Hutchinson, she's our other middle. Haley Doman, who is our senior setter. We run a 5-1 with her. We also have Gabby Nemeth in the back row. And then we just have another junior in the lineup, Ronnie Collins. And then we have that may come in, Zoe Blystone and Milani Makaira. We just have a solid group that starts, and we have a solid bench. It's great to have, like I said, that experience, whether a player goes down or someone's not having a successful night, to throw someone in and be confident with our choice in selecting who we just throw in. Like I said, we just have a really solid group of girls that have worked together at the varsity level for quite some time now, and it's going to be an exciting season to watch.
Did that large number of seniors change the way that you and Carissa approach practices and the preseason? I mean, a lot of times you're teaching girls the basics, but these are girls that have been in your program for a long time. How did you guys adapt to that and take advantage of it?
It's actually a pretty interesting and neat thing to experience. Going from the past couple years, I've been a coach now for 4 years, we had like 4 girls or 5 seniors to 2 to 2 to 3, and now to 10. We feel like we have enough girls to take the lead on certain drills, just to be that responsible body in the gym, and we feel like we have more than just 2 people that can take control of practice. Like I said, there's 10 of them, and we only have 29 girls on our full roster, so they can just we can tell them things to do, and it's nice that there's enough of them to spread out to help the underclassmen.
Haley, I'm going to go back to you. And when we opened the segment, I was half joking about your size, but it's true. You aren't the biggest player on the volleyball court or the basketball court, but your effort has always kind of stood out. You just, if Coach said to run through that brick wall, you'd get up and run through the brick wall. But what drives you to push yourself that way?
I mean, always getting better. You can always do the little things, and taking that into perspective, I may be small, but I mean, it helps when, I don't know, I always think of it as my last game, obviously now because I'm a senior, so everything, if there's a ball that could land, like always try your hardest, because you'd never know what could happen from that. You could always get to play, just simple stuff like that.
Grace, stepping into a leadership role, how ready are you for that, and what do you bring to the table?
I'm pretty ready for it. I mean, I'm known as kind of like the quieter one on the court, but being like one of the only 2 seniors in the back row with like other 2 underclassmen, we kind of have to like take a bigger role to like make sure like if they get in their head like they're okay, and like I need to make sure being like a senior that I can like stick up for them, and like I have to be okay and not get in my head so that then the underclassmen and the other players don't get in their head.
Whoever wants to take this one, what are you guys going to look like offensively? What are you trying to accomplish on the court?
So maybe we can both pass up. I'll get started. We are actually, like I said, with the 6 returner varsity players and the ones that are on the bench, we're looking at a quicker, faster offense just because of the experience that we have had. So we look forward to just working with all the girls that running new plays and different routes on the offense, just kind of mix it up a little bit since we have a strong lineup across the net.
For me, our offense is better this year, and as a senior setter, my goal is to connect with all of my hitters and definitely like running new routes and everything. It's a better look for us, and when we connect, which we have, and it looks so much better, and it's just fun to watch and sit back and see all of it play out.
You have some really good hitters, and Kaylin Rakowski, Lindsay Hissa. I love the lefty swing, and she does that outside thing so well. How nice is it to have weapons at your disposal like that, where you might get a set over here and you just know somebody's in the right position and they can put the ball on the floor?
It's definitely nice having people that I can trust and knowing that they can put the ball away. They're all very good hitters, and it's just very exciting to see what we can do, and I know that they can put it away, so I have my full trust in them.
Grace, we've talked about the offense. Let's talk about the defense. Every coach today has said, we love our offense, but defense is going to win matches. So talk about Cardinals' offense and what people can expect out of you.
We definitely are doing like a new defense that I think is going to help us out a lot more this year, of like being able to get all of the balls and like even the harder like hits. And I think like the defense that we have now and all the passers that we have, like Gabby and me, we've played together since freshman year, and Ronnie, we played with her since her freshman and sophomore year. So I think trust is like a big thing in the back row, and I think we really have that this year. And like just like being able to trust each other on positions or know whose ball is what, I think we're really tight in the back row this year.
Thinking about all those seniors you guys have, I know every senior night, all the other girls color poster board and make signs and get below. You guys, that's going to be the longest senior night ever.
We've already talked about keeping it to like 3 sentences max per senior.
Yeah, that's going to be one long senior night. Coach, before I get back to you, I'm going to start on my left and Haley, just start it off. Just talk about your individual goals for your senior year and then what you hope your team can accomplish.
An individual goal I have for myself is breaking our assist record, which I'm almost there, so hopefully I can break it my senior year. And then our team, everything that I have for us, I know we can accomplish, so it's just to sit back and see, and I know we'll accomplish it.
Grace, turn it over to you.
I would definitely say taking more control of being a leader, like especially since I'm a senior, I now have the opportunity to like kind of take charge and like be able to help others, like as being an upperclassman. And I would definitely say like trying to help others like get out of like a funk, or like if someone's like down on themselves, like just like bringing them back up for the team so we can continue.
Coach, I'll close it out with you. Everybody wants to win a state title. Everyone wants to win their league title and all those good things. So when I talk about goals, I'm including those. Those are dreams as well. But when you look at the team goals that you and Carissa have set for the girls, what are they and what do you hope to accomplish?
We, as a coaching staff, we take it one step at a time. We have a tough schedule this year, which I think is really good for us. It'll push us every day in practice to get better. So just taking it one day at a time, one game at a time. And then that'll lead to CVC titles, possibly. And then we haven't been to regionals in a fairly long time. So just taking it district to regional. And I really think this group of girls has a lot of talent. And if we can put it to use and really click this year as a team, we can go very far. So just taking it one day at a time and always building and striving to be better.
With 10 seniors, man, this is the year you got to make a run. That's incredible, 10 seniors. But all right, that is the Cardinal Huskies here at the 2021 CVC Volleyball Media Day. Ladies, I appreciate you making the trip out here, and I'll see you on the court pretty soon.
Thank you very much for having us.
Appreciate it. That is the Cardinal Huskies. Moving along here in the Valley Division, Grand Valley will be up next. Get ready for the Mustangs to take their seat. Coach Smolinski and crew. This is our final division of the night. We've already previewed the Chagrin Division, the Lake Division, and the Metro Division. We're now halfway through the Valley Division here. Maybe halfway. Is there anyone else out there?
Not as of yet, no.
So that's you guys. So this is probably going to be it for the Valley Division and the CVC Volleyball Media Day here live from Chagrin Falls High School. So let's get right into it. Coach Smolinski, go ahead and introduce the girls you brought with you, and then just kind of give us a little preview of what we can expect to see out of your team this year.
Right beside me, that is Courtney Heilig. She's our outside hitter, and she is one of our senior captains. And on the far side, that is Abigail Collins, and she's our libero this year. She's a junior. One thing that I would say that you guys can expect out of Grand Valley is definitely a more scrappy team that you've seen in previous years. I think the girls have really put in the work in preseason, and it's really starting to show now with the scrimmages and stuff that we're going through now.
You talked about a scrappy team that we're going to see for a while, but a couple of years ago, that was a pretty scrappy team with Barbara Jackson, Riley Pucell, and they made a heck of an introduction into the CVC, so that was nice to see. A little bit of a down year. Was that 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago. Or was it 3 years ago?
With Riley?
Riley and Barbara?
This will be 3 years now.
Okay. Wow, I'm getting old. It just flies by. But, yeah, so that was a nice, scrappy team. And so a little bit of a rebuilding year last year. Is this your first year or your second year?
Oh, this is my second year.
Second year. Okay. I wasn't sure because COVID, I didn't get out to see everybody last year. So I know Anna was out there and you took over for her. Okay. So you inherited, a program that had a lot of success the previous year, but then they graduated a lot of the seniors that made all of that happen. How did you kind of transition the program and put your footprint onto it?
Like you kind of said, it was definitely a rebuilding year last year. A lot of the girls that I had last year, previous year, hadn't had any varsity playing experience before, so I really thought that showed with how we played. We played kind of young, kind of back on our heels a little bit. But this year we have 3 returning starters overall, so I think that will make definitely a big difference, kind of getting that playing experience, especially with the high pressure, some games that you see.
And let's go right over to Courtney. Offense. Tonight, everybody's been talking about defense. They say, hey, we love our offense, but defense wins the matches. But you have to have a strong offense. You got to be able to put the ball on the floor. Talk about your group of hitters and how you guys are gelling together and kind of focused on the season.
I think we've been working hard. We've been trying to run different types of hits and stuff. And we always haven't been the strongest hitting team, so it really does carry over to defense. But this year, since we've been putting in more work, I think that it will show on the games and stuff.
What do you guys try to do offensively? How do you try to run your offense? Without giving away any secrets, of course. Coaches over there, don't say it.
Well, we just try to get everyone to get hits on the ball. We try to do as many hits as we can and try not to pass the ball over and stuff. Yeah.
And then Abigail, as the libero, defense is your thing, and talk about that group and what drives you guys the intensity. Who's going to chase the balls into the bleachers, into the deep corners of the gym? Courtney, pointing over to you, so I think it's you.
I definitely feel like I have to be a leader out there, but I feel like throughout this year we've gotten a lot better. We've worked a lot on different kinds of defenses and being able to switch up if we needed to, so I think it'll be a pretty good.
Coach, obviously in your second year, you're still going to have some hurdles you've got to clear, getting to know your players, developing them, getting them to understand what you're trying to do. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've already overcome?
I would definitely say the bond that these girls have together. We took them to Walsh this year for a camp and a day tournament, and I think right there they really grow as a team, individually, as a player, as well as a whole group. I don't know what it was. It was just a light switch on the floor. They just all meshed well together, and that's really something amazing to see as a coach. You can't teach that, and in the gym, you can't give them film to watch and teach that. That's something they have to do on their own.
Ladies, from your perspective, going into a second year with a coach, what have you guys had to adjust to that maybe in your earlier careers you learned things a different way or had to do things a different way, and how have you kind of adapted to coach's style?
Well, she is just a really good coach overall, and she's taught us a lot of stuff, and I don't think that I would be here today. I don't think I would be as skilled as I am today, if she wasn't here
So she's definitely taught us a lot, and I think it was for the best.
Abigail, your thoughts?
I would agree. I definitely wouldn't be like where I would be today. Like, it would not. I don't feel like I would have been over there or anything unless she'd been there. She brought me up a lot and taught me a bunch. And I feel like she's really good coach.
Coach, talk through your rotation a little bit. Obviously, we've got Courtney and Abigail here. Who else is going to step up and make plays for you on any given night?
We have an outsider, Kayla Hopes. She's definitely progressed over the postseason. She's definitely a smart player. She's young, she's a sophomore, but she plays as a senior. Dixie Miller, she's gonna be one of our middles that we have. Also a sophomore, but I think she's finally grown it into her body, and she's gonna be hard to get any balls past her. We have some DSs that we throw in the back row. Taryn Gazelle. She's just one of those players that coaches love to have. She has the heart, like you said previously, you have a player that coach says, hey, run through that brick wall, and she's going to do that for you. And we had a scrimmage against LeBray the other day, and she was just passing balls. I was like, wow, that's an amazing save. Didn't really see a lot of varsity time last year, but you can't really tell at all. And then Haley Burns, who's a sophomore, she'll be stepping up for us in the back row too. Just always seems to be in the right spot at the right time, and in the back row, that's actually something that you need, to get those tight corners and get those plays on those balls.
And I'll come back to you in a moment, Coach. Let's go back to the girls. This year, the Valley Division, I don't want to say it's wide open. Kirtland won it last year. They return almost everybody. Berkshire graduated a couple key players. They've got some key players coming. Cardinal, I just learned, has 10 seniors. So I think everybody's got a little fighting chance in there. What is it going to take for you guys to come out on top in the Valley Division?
I think it's just going to take heart. Like, honestly, I think our team has a really good bond this year, and I just think if we come out on the court with a positive attitude and keep it up, even if we're dropping points, like, if we just keep up our energy and our attitude, I think we could definitely win a lot of games, a lot more than last year.
I also feel like our bond this year is definitely so much better than what our varsity bond last year was, and I feel like if we go out there and we do our best and play our hardest, that we can definitely make it a lot harder.
I'm going to stick with you, Abigail, since the camera's pointing at you. Individual goals and team goals for the year. What are you hoping to accomplish?
My individual goal, I would say I want to become a very good leader in the back row and make sure that my passes are good. I'm going to do my part on the floor. And team goals, I want us all to play our hardest, bring each other up, knock it down on the floor, and make sure that we can do our best to get the first we can throughout the season.
Courtney, same question to you.
My individual goal is to be obviously the leader on the team, and I also want to have more kills and get more hits over the net. And our individual goals, I just want us to stay a team the whole year. I just want us to be able to win as a team, and even if we do lose, to walk off the court feeling like we did win with our attitude and our energy.
And then, Coach, I'll close with you. What are your keys to success this year, not only to win some matches, but also to develop these younger kids that you have coming up? What's it going to take to kind of achieve all of your goals?
I would say overall, just getting the mentality of, if you lose 1 point, the game's not over. You have sets of 25. And until that ref blows that final whistle, you have to keep playing no matter what. So if you think you can't get to a ball, you got to play like you can. And chances are, 9 times out of 10, you might not get there, but that one chance, might be making a big play and turn the game around. You only need 1 point to do that. But teaching the girls to play their part, make sure that they're, doing their part. Don't try to play over somebody else, because then when that happens, things kind of fall apart. But playing as one unit, kind of one heartbeat, I think is our overall goal.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all making that long trip from Orwell. I don't live too far from there, so I get to follow you home in a little bit. But I appreciate you making the trip. Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. That is the Grand Valley Mustangs there, closing out the Valley Division portion of the CVC Volleyball Media Day, live from Chagrin Falls. In closing, I want to thank all the coaches and players who made the trip and participated. I want to thank CVC Commissioner Don Lewis for coming out once again to sit in on some of the interviews here and chat with our league coaches and players. And of course, can't leave without thanking Athletic Director here at Chagrin Falls, Charlie Barch, for his hospitality and setting this all up for us. Our next media event will be held on Sunday, August 22nd. That'll be out at Grand Valley, and that will be our CVC Cross Country Media Day, something new. So hope you'll tune in then. For tonight, from Chagrin Falls, this is Steve Hare, and I appreciate you tuning in.